mustard on eggs?
I did too.
Would you put mustard on eggs?
Would you put
Hi, welcome to the stream where we ask the hard-hitting questions, like, would you put mustard on eggs?
Would you?
My name is Sarah, and I will not be here for very long.
If my cousin Chris is watching this, I have an embarrassing memory to bring up that when he was very young, he really loved putting ketchup on potato chips. Like,
yeah,
just
okay.
like in the bag and just like.
Oh no, that's cursed. That's awful.
I don't know about this.
That is. It is.
I don't do it.
Literally, gave me nightmares.
Chris, I don't know.
What were the nightmares?
So if you don't know by now, we are a tabletop RPG live play
Obviously.
Oh,
show.
Clearly.
I am your
calling
DM, Paul. What was that?
Answer the phone, Michelle.
He's in chat.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, and thank you, Red Hot Sonic Screwdriver, for the subscription.
Woohoo!
Sonic Screwdriver!
Oh, and thank you for the bits, Corms.
Heck yeah!
Heckers, yeah,
Thanks.
bro.
I wish I knew.
Jinx.
Man, I should know what bits are if I'm on a stream.
It's like money, but like itty bitty tiny amount.
It's like
Thank
the
you for
fractions of
raising
cents
money.
that you see on gas prices.
Except for Corms gave us 5,000 bits, so that rules. Thank you so much. That's
Thank you
you.
so
I
much.
have no concept of how much that is in dollars.
It's an amount.
It's an amount.
That we
This is
like.
We will
meal
pass your
points
level
or-
along to Will.
So,
Yes, but I'm Paul. Hi. The rest of you, introduce yourselves.
I'm Savannah. I play Rand, the fire gymnastic Calastar.
Gymnasty.
My name's Ryan. I'm fine gymnasty.
I have a minor concussion.
He is potentially concussed.
I'm sorry. I'm a fire gymnastic.
No, it has to be gymnasty now.
Gymnasty now.
Gymnasty from now on, from here forth.
Rand and the Fire Gymnasties. Band name.
Yes.
That is a great band name.
Okay, Rand is a druid sorcerer, and she's trying to figure out why her parents were murdered, and it's just gonna be a stream tonight, y'all.
It's gonna be a stream tonight.
It is indeed.
This
I'm
is
going
going to be
stream.
streamed in case you weren't aware.
Next,
Next.
I'm eating rice with mustard.
Oh, I didn't realize it was rice. That's
Yeah.
It's cold.
nice.
It's like that
you-
Reddit thread where that kid ate just like every food suggested to him, and he ate it also
Oh
with
my
rice
God,
and rated them
yeah.
both. Do you remember that
yeah,
thread?
yeah. It was like
And everybody
with
thought he was
rice
just
the-
like not doing it, but he was, and he was a minor and couldn't do like the alcohol or anything that people were suggesting either.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm
You
Sarah.
are severely concussed, and I'm worried about you.
What happened?
Well, anyways.
I can't disclose that information due to HIPAA.
Due to HIPAA.
Due to HIPAA,
love
the
our HIPAA.
hippopotamus.
Shout out to Hippa.
Shout out to HIPAA.
Shut up.
We love a right to medical privacy sometimes when it's convenient.
We love HIPAA.
I have my phone.
Woohoo! Anyway, I'm Sarah. I play Saoirse. She's an Eladrin bard who plays the bagpipes, and she's looking for her family, just kind of like casually though. Like she's having a pretty good time in this realm, and she'll eventually like make it back to the Feywilds or whatever. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Why right next to the mic? Yeah.
We have this set up at least now that like we use the same mics every episode, so that is going to be your mustard mic from now on.
Oh,
All right, we're gonna get through our
that is going to be
introductions.
Hello,
so loud to everyone.
I am Hunter. I play Bryce, the young 13-year-old rogue satyr who is on a quest to find his missing father. And it has taken some twists and turns, and he's experienced things 13-year-olds probably shouldn't. So we'll see how that turns out.
Hi, my name is Michelle. I play, maybe play
Like the start of today.
Rhea, who is a
Who's to say?
Twilight Domain cleric, Aasimar person, and yeah, she is right now trying to survive, but also she really hates her dad and wants to kill her dad because her dad is an evil guy that does evil wizard stuff.
I love the polar opposite from the rest of us, being like, we're trying to find our parents. You're like, I never want to see my dad again.
She already attempted murder on her dad once, and it didn't like happen. So now this time she's like gonna bring down that holy vengeance. Yeah. Well, maybe.
Maybe we'll find out in just a few minutes. A couple more shout outs real quick. Thank you, Bly, and thank you, Rowan, for the bits. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
The best.
And Michelle, you have a compliment on your hair from Mrs.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't know who that
Thank
is.
you so much. I don't know who that is. Thank you.
All right. Announcements? Do we have anything to announce? I think we have a lot of things to announce, actually.
Tuck in. Here are the announcements. Maybe I shouldn't be looking directly into the
No,
camera.
you're doing great.
You're
Keep
engaging with
doing
your
that.
audience.
Yeah.
All right. We have some really, really exciting things happening. Second Winds, who does this channel, we are moving physical locations at the end of May, which is wild. We're so excited. It's going to be a really wonderful thing for this business, this company, growing this channel. We don't know at the moment what that will mean for this stream, but as soon as we do, we will let you know. That being said, if you happen to locally be present in, say, the Asheville area of, North Carolina, there may or may not be this really cool event called Nerd Pride Fest that's happening on Saturday, June 3rd. And if you want just, a little more information about said thing, go to our website that's so beautiful and excellently remodeled. Sarah and Jess, oh my goodness, Sarah, oh my goodness, AVLElderdragon.com.
.com.
Happiness.
Yeah, you should totally go there, bro.
It's also, if you go there, there's a little shop button. It has a lot of really cool nerdy stuff. If you are a nerd and you need more stuff, go look at it. Excuse me?
It was the mustard. It's the custard.
It was the mustard.
No, that was...
It was the mustard. All right. Am I missing
I see
anything?
a hospital visit in your future.
Please.
All is well.
No worries.
The
It's
chuckle
not.
before that did not help your case.
I don't think that there's anything else.
I think that kind of covers
Was
it.
that covering
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
All right. Yeah, stay tuned for all the changes and updates. Go type socials in the chat. Go follow us. We're going to be posting a ton of announcements the next month there. So tune in. It's going to be awesome. Woot.
Yeah, you nailed that. Despite the concussion,
Woot.
perfect.
Who
Flawless.
needs
Round
script?
of applause.
Who needs a non-bruised brain?
Me right now.
Well, speaking of potentially bruised brains,
Oh, no.
We left off last episode on a very, very intense note. You had just defeated...
Light camping. Intense like camping. Okay. I'm sorry.
You had just defeated Komun, the quarry spirit that had been wreaking havoc underneath the abandoned Cathedral to Bahamut in the city of Alavas. Ooh,
No camping involved.
no. You actually captured Komun, sucked him right out of the body that he was possessing. You saved a lot of the former cultists whose possessors had vacated their bodies. Saved darn near all of them, but realized as you're escaping from the collapsing cavern, as the obelisk that had brought Komun into this world began to explode, you realized you had left one body behind, and that was the body of Pel, the former folded leader who was possessed by Komun. So Rhea flew over to try and rescue Pel, and then right as you picked up Pel, the device, this dynamo, the strange contraption that had been driving the obelisk that had been piercing the planes and bringing this spirit being into the material plane with you, self-destructed, and you were caught in a flash of white planar energy. And today we're going to figure out what happens next. So, on that note, I'm going to ask everybody but Michelle to leave the table, and we're going to figure out what happens to
What
Rhea.
happens?
Are you guys gonna watch from the outside, or
We're not
keep
allowed.
the mystery?
We're
They're not allowed.
Not allowed.
We're
Not
literally
allowed.
not allowed.
I mean, I understand, but there's only like one room.
Savannah? Unallowed. I'm kidding. You're perfect. Paul just is saying mixing board to himself a bunch. Nobody can hear, but that is what is happening.
Just knocked
Fantastic.
everything over on my path back here.
Graceful, like a swan.
All right. Chat, can you hear us? Are we good now? Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Okay. So, you flew over, you picked up Pell, and right in that moment, you looked over back towards the obelisk as the arcing planar energy pierced the air around you. You heard the crackling of thunder. You heard the blazing noise of fire rush past you. The cracking of ice. And then you watched all of these arcs of energy fuse into this one singular white energy that rushed back into the obelisk and then exploded out towards you in this rapidly onsetting white disk. And it impacts you. You don't feel anything. You don't feel pain. You look around. You can still see the cavern around you. You can still see your friends frozen in time, staring at you, mouths open in shock and horror. And then that white energy begins to fill your vision and occlude all of your sight. You look around, you can't even see your own body anymore. Just white, empty space. What would you do?
Gosh. My first thoughts would be about Pell. As this energy overtook me, did I watch Pell die in my arms?
You saw, as you picked up Pell, she was still breathing, but only just. And as that white energy overtook you, she also disappeared from your arms. In fact, you don't have arms anymore. You don't see anything. You can think, you have your thoughts, but that's about it in this empty white expanse.
Can I talk? We'll try to say, like, hello? Am I dead?
You hear your voice muted, muffled, weaker sounding almost. Like the sound, you're talking, you're shouting into empty fog, like it just kind of goes and then stops. No reflection, no echo, nothing.
I think Rhea she starts to think about Calzarenad,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, buddy, if there was a time you could help me out, it would be right now. Please.
As you think that, and put forth that plea, you notice a small dot. You can't tell if it's close, you can't tell if it's far. You have no way to judge distance where you are, if distance even exists. And that dot begins to trace an arc gently through the white expanse, a crescent shape that slowly expands, like a waxing moon, until it becomes a full circle, just an empty black void. And then that void begins to assume almost a humanoid shape, but changing, morphing, seeming to change, like a silhouette that changes constantly between height, weight, gender, presentation, hair length, the whole thing. It's like it's cycling through just silhouette after silhouette after silhouette. You can't, just as you think you can nail one down, it changes again. And then as you look longer, you see almost like stars, points of light start to appear in that void. And then it settles onto just a generic, almost humanoid-looking form. And it stands in front of you and tilts its head slightly.
I tilt my head with it. Hello? Who are you? Where am I? What happened?
It kind of looks around, almost quizzically, says, "Who am I? What happened? Who am I?"
I don't know. You tell me. What is this place? What do you know? Where are my friends? Where's Pell? What happened with the dungeon? Am I dead?
What am I? Who am I?
Are you?
I understand the intent behind the question, but not the questions themselves.
Do you know who Calzarenad is? When I thought of him, you appeared.
That name sounds familiar. But I'm not any Calzarenad. I suppose I am in some form. I'm you. I can be. I have been. I may still be. Who's to say?
I think you're to say, actually. What is this place? What do you know?
When you drop a pebble into the ocean and it makes a ripple, what are the ripples? Each one rushing out, hitting another one, forming new ripples, breaking up into separate ones. What are they? And what are the water that they ride on? You're a convergence of so many fascinating ripples, so many fascinating waves. I am you. I am Calzarenat. I'm the cavern you're floating in right now, or what's left of it. What it was. The stream that carved it out, what else? The scales that grew across your arm. Those are me too. Or maybe all that stuff is just the crater that was left behind. I don't know. The ejecta. Maybe I was just the impulse, just that singularity, that impetus. All that's left is an afterimage that can only pontificate in circles.
Well,
Who are you?
Well, hopefully, I am alive, and my name is Rhea, daughter of, well, great-great-great-great-granddaughter of Emrys. If you are this place, if you are me, if you are anything that has control, please let me go.
I can hold you here no more than I took you here. You've always been here.
So, if you know all of this stuff, then what is this place? I have people counting on me. I had somebody in my arms, they were dying. I need to get back.
You answered my question, but you didn't really answer my question. Who are you? And the form reaches a hand out, and you now realize your body is materialized under you, and your hand is now reaching out too, just in time with it, to touch this dark form. Your other hand reaches out as well, and then the form just kind of fades and collapses into you. And then, like a kaleidoscope almost, you watch another Rhea, another body, another you, just reflect out and turn around and face you. But this one is not like the mysterious silhouetted form that you were just interacting with. This one, though you may not have seen it before, you know what it is. It is you. It looks like you, but it is scaly. Black, hard scales cover half of the face. One of the eyes is a sickly green. This slightly dried, crusted, like greenish film kind of dripping off of that eye. The rest of the body is also covered in scales. The cloak is tattered. It is run down, beaten. This is you, or part of you. And it looks directly into your eyes and it says, I am a dragon seated atop a throne of esoterica. secreting away trinkets of knowledge. A scaly beast, friends with the void, who would use a king to study the bones of the dead. I need you to roll a d20 for me.
Oh, gosh.
And you need to beat a DC of 17, your wisdom score.
Oh, gosh. Do I add my wisdom to it?
No.
Chris, I'm using your dice. If this goes wrong, I blame you. It's a nat 1.
A natural one, okay. The scaly form, you watch the same kind of like green goop that had been oozing out of one eye starts to seep out of all of the scales on the body, like what you had seen before, and you feel this acidic burning in your skin, and you look down and there is nothing like that on you, but you can see it just leaking out, and it's burning. The scales start to fall away, the flesh starts to peel away, and you see this horrid visage underneath, this almost skeletal, like decaying body. And as you look, the scale's now gone, this decaying flesh in front of you, wings sprout out behind it, dark, skeletal as well, tatters of flesh flap loosely in some kind of unseen breeze. This face looks at you, its eyes no longer green, but now this like golden hue, and this form looks at you.
What are you doing to me?
I am an avenging angel, heaven bent on righting old wrongs, a trail of new ones in my wake, a befuddled sense of righteousness in need of direction. Who are you?
I am Rhea Emrys.
I need you to roll a d20. This time you're rolling against your charisma score.
Oh, gosh.
You need to beat a 14.
It is an 11.
An 11. Okay. As you watch the decaying flesh begins to darken, the sockets in the eyes become even darker and darker till the shadows seem to grow solid, and just this like almost kind of rushing toxic dark ooze grows out. A pit of fear hits your heart, and then this dark ooze coalesces. It overtakes the face, it overtakes the body. You get a flash of something in the gold irises of this being as the darkness consumes it, a reflection of something faint. You just grab a hint of it. It looks like a shoreline. There are people in front of it that look vaguely familiar. You've never seen them before, but you recognize them. They look like you.
What? Who are they?
The flash of a reflection is there. It seems like an eternity, but just as fast it's gone.
I
And
have
the
family?
darkness overtakes the eyes. And then the darkness gives way again, and standing before you, peeling back from this darkness, 2 beady black eyes. Eyes that you recognize instantly. A face that you know clearly is your father.
I knew you were behind this. Why can't you just leave me alone? I hate you. You've taken everything from me.
A smile turns up at the lips. I am the smell of death and decay, the putrescence of the hatred in human hearts. A shadow of broken bodies cast by a cursed lineage. I reflect only the dark.
I hate you so much.
Who are you?
better than you.
I need you to roll a d20. This is just a standard death saving throw.
That is a 3.
Okay. Emrys steps forward. The darkness, which had pulled back to reveal his face, rushes back over, occludes it, and extends out and begins to cover your own. And you hear some final words.
Oh.
Rhea Emrys, a daughter looking for a family, a mother looking for someone to care for, a person in need of a friend, a set of patchwork armor, each piece building the person she'd like to be. Who were you?
I don't know. I don't know. I never got the chance to find out. Please, I want that chance. More than anything. I want to know who I am.
I want to as well. The darkness overtakes you, suffocates you. Even though you haven't been breathing this whole time, you realize that now, and you still aren't. Panic, your heart's racing. You wait for the white to come back, that white light, that energy. You wait for it to return, but it does not. And Rhea is no more. I need you to leave the table and tell everyone else to come back in.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta let the rest of them in.
No! What happened? Why isn't Michelle coming back here? Why isn't Michelle?
Oh my god.
Put Wilby. Put Wilby.
No, I need to hug.
I love this
hug
being
Wil-
this.
Or
I'm
is
so
Wilby going over here?
sorry.
Wilby, in her chair. Put Wilby.
Hug Wilby. I'm not
need
not
to-
ready. Oh dang it! I forgot my dice too.
Oh, watch the camera. We do accept Fs in the chat, by the way.
Wait, what? Wait. What?
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right.
F is for finally a good thing.
No, it's not.
Interesting. Expound on that.
It's
should
weird that
we?
they only specify the F in all of that.
I don't
We
like
need-
that is on 3.
Do we need?
It's like the scene of a crime.
It really is.
The evidence, putting the
Yes.
clues together.
Keep the door cracked.
Hunter, would you mind
Cracked.
cracking it?
I can crack that door.
Crack that door.
Okay.
that door.
Oh.
So the rest of you. You see that arc of white energy, that disc, radiate out from the exploding obelisk. Time seems to slow from where you're standing at the entrance. You watch Rhea turn to look at the obelisk, and as she turns to look back at the rest of you, she just freezes. The falling rubble in the room freezes. Pell, who has been laying limp in Rhea's arms, remains that way for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And then the energy all of a sudden just rushes back into the obelisk, and the room caves in. The rocks fall. You watch Rhea, suspended in air by her wings, fall to the ground, unmoving. And the rubble continues to rain down, bit by bit by bit. It starts to obscure Rhea's body.
We can still see it.
You can still see it. Pell has fallen out of Rhea's arms, has not been hit by the rocks yet. You could save her if you had the will to.
I think I'm gonna try dashing for Rhea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
All three of you are running to Rhea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Celia is going to sprint to Pell.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's all three of you doing it, I won't make you roll anything. You're able to pull her body. Rocks are falling. It's tough, but with the three of you doing it together, you manage to pull her free.
And as soon as we get out, I do want to turn around and see how is Pell and
Celia.
Celia. That's the name. How is Celia doing with Pell?
Celia is now currently over the body of Pell. They have not dragged Pell out yet. But they are like getting pelted with bits of rock and just kind of...
If you two want to...
I'm gonna go running already after Celia.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll stay here then.
And actually, let me... Okay. Celia, you run up to Celia.
We have to get her out of here! And I'm gonna try grabbing onto Pell. It goes by she, her pronouns, correct?
Yeah,
Yes,
Pell.
Celia is
Um,
who, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try grabbing onto Pell and just looking at Celia to...
Fine. Let's go now. And they help you and pick up Celia, and you run out into the hallway. This hallway is rapidly collapsing as well. The cavern that you are in now is just heavy boulders are just... Oh, sorry. Just...
So when
coming
we
down.
get to Rhea, like,
Is there a pulse?
Can I
Do we-
stabilize? Like,
There is no pulse. You stop, you feel for a pulse, there is nothing. You don't feel anything.
So boulders are just crashing down, like...
In the cavern, you are now in the tunnel that leads to the cavern. The walls are shaking here, and you're starting to get the same kind of like preliminary like rubble falling from the ceiling here. Cracks are starting to form along the walls. You feel that you don't have much time in the location that you're at.
We have to get out of here. We can do something outside. There's something we can do. We just need to get out.
okay, we're dragging all the bodies.
Yeah.
Okay.
we gotta-
Well, you're still goat form, right? Are you?
I will
I'm assuming you probably
de-transform
dropped
from
out the
goat.
point, okay.
Yes.
Run into the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
so
indeed.
you all grab the bodies and you start to pull them. As you're doing this, it's like time is moving in slow motion. You're oddly, like, you know your heart's racing. You know you should be panicking. You are to a certain extent, but there is an uneasy calmness that's kind of pervading you right now. Like, the adrenaline has just given you tunnel vision. You are moving. And as you're pulling the bodies of Rhea and Pell out of this collapsing tunnel, one of the folded that you had saved from the cavern runs up to you. You recognize her. She was one of the ones that was actually strapped to you, who you freed. And she looks at all of you and she's like, I owe you a lot. Come with me quickly. I think I know a way out of here.
Okay.
Do you know... Is anybody in here a healer?
Hurry, we don't have much time. We gotta go now.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay, this way. And she runs off back to the crypt, and you watch her run up. There's folded, like, kind of all over the place right now. Some are, like, tucked up against the wall, like, panicking. There's some that are trying to climb up the collapsed stairwell to get back up to the top of the crypt.
I want to try like yelling out to any one of them and just like, one of you help us with Pell or help us carry these people out.
The one that is leading you says like, she says, I can help. Here, I don't know, give me an arm, something like that. I can
I hand
help.
her like Pell's arms. That way.
Okay.
Pell and Celia and her on.
Yeah, Celia and her are like kind of just doing like legs, arms, like stretcher style, kind of carrying Pell. And she looks over, she gestures, she points to one of the crypts that has like, it was standing upright, this tomb, and the cover has partially cracked. And she says, I think I saw past that boundary. I got a flash of something I know I was out for a while, but I think I like wake up occasionally or something. I don't know. I remember there's something about that crypt.
Okay.
I think there's a way out through there.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. You run up. The crypt cover is cracked. The tomb lid is cracked. You can see through if you want to take a look. Who's doing what?
I'm shoving the lid
I'll
off.
perceive.
Okay. You perceive and you go to shove. Strength and perception. And then you're still
Michelle,
holding
I'm
Rhea,
gonna
right?
borrow
You're still
your
pulling
dice.
Rhea?
Yeah. And while this is happening, I want to take like a look at Rhea. Like, are there no like injuries or anything? Like,
No. Surprisingly, she didn't get really touched in the fight. None of the rubble really hit her either,
22.
but she's not breathing. 22? Okay.
Natural one.
All right. Yeah. Despite Rand like shoulder checking this tomb, and you hear a crack, but it's not from the tomb.
Yeah.
You can
We've
still.
already no, we haven't. But we. Stop it!
You can see through the crack though, and you do see a passage that appears to go out and then up.
Great, let's go.
Okay, I need help.
yeah,
I help
Okay.
push.
All right. So whoever's helping, are you both gonna go help?
I feel like
Are we
Bryce would
heave
want
hoeing?
someone to be holding. So if you're right there and you're gonna help, then Bryce is gonna
Okay.
stay
I'll help.
with.
So how are you gonna help? It's gonna be a strength check if you're just trying to pry it off.
Let me see if I've got anything.
I used up all my explosives.
Ooh. Oh, I forgot that doesn't actually do anything.
Rubble is starting to come down. in
Sure,
this
sure,
room now
yeah,
as well.
thanks.
Actually, some of the tombs that are higher up, the walls are now like vibrating here, shaking. The ripple of the shockwave that was sent out has dislodged just about every piece of loose stone and masonry in this large, tall, cylindrical structure. You hear a crack from above you, and one of the tombs up top cracks open, and half of the stone tomb itself falls down. You see a skeletal draconic body tumble down with it and crash to the floor. You avert your eyes at the last second. You don't know if it hit anybody, but it didn't hit you. But this place is starting to crumble.
Okay, I'm gonna push it, but I'm going to invigorate myself with, and this is purely flavor, I suppose, but with some
Sure.
vicious mockery, because I never use it on actual people, but I'm going to use it on this stupid tomb! You stupid tomb!
Love it.
Get out of the way! Can't you see? We're trying to save people here! And she's going to do a strength check, I guess.
Okay, so here's what we'll do.
Does that do anything?
Yeah, you two are now trying to pry the lid off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of you can roll with advantage, or you can both roll once. And then Vicious Mockery is a D4, right?
Yeah.
You can add a D4 to that roll.
Heck yeah!
Bryce, are you helping, or are you just
I have a
kinda like,
+0 strength.
I don't know.
I have a
Do
plus
anything?
to
At
strength.
At this point,
You
I
have a
think.
plus?
Yeah.
I really
I-
think like I'd be like trying to figure because like to Bryce it doesn't make any like
Plus
death
one.
requires injury.
Okay,
So like
so roll
ahead and
twice.
roll
I think
that.
Bryce is like
That eight.
searching
And then
all
add a
over.
D4.
Roll
to
an
it,
investigation
too.
check for me if you want. Or a medicine check, actually. Roll a medicine check.
Ooh.
16. Okay, so we'll take the 17 plus. So dirty 20.
30-20. Yeah,
Dirty
absolutely.
20.
That does it.
Ooh.
You, with the help of You're standing there, both of you on either side, trying to pry this off, and it's not budging. It's just not budging until you release that onslaught of verbal taunts to the cover, and that crack that was in it just splits all the way, and you just rip it apart.
Yes.
The passageway beyond now revealed.
Okay, I'm
Go!
fireman carrying
Okay.
Rhea
Go!
and running.
I got a big old 2 on that medicine check.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can see. Like, nothing is out of place. Not a hair, nothing. The woman that was helping you along follows you and starts to guide you. Like, I get flashes of, like, you got to follow this up, and then there's, like, another entrance at the top. It keeps going past that, but I think if you go to the entrance at the top, you can get out.
Just
Okay.
go. Just
Okay.
go. We're following.
All
Go.
right.
Bryce is sitting like...
So she leads you up to the top of this passage, and it leads to, you do see on one side a door, and it does still continue up past it. What would you like to do?
Go through that door.
You going through the door?
Mhm.
Okay. So you open the door. It swings open on some hidden hinges. You look now as light illuminates the door on the opposite side. It looks like the cover of a tomb, and you are now standing at the top of that tomb with the metal mesh surface under your feet. You can see down through that. You can see the cylindrical tomb below you. You can see the staircase that had fallen when you triggered the trap below. You are now at the top of the tomb passage again.
We were here before.
Um,
Okay, now we know the rest of the way.
So
Yeah.
so we're okay. Where are we? I know where we are in the dungeon, but in regards
Right.
to the city, where are we?
You are in the cathedral right now, which is in the Golden Concourse, which is basically the holy district of the city. You're in the
Okay.
Banner Bank, which is in the fancy, nicer part of town.
We're in the holy district of the city?
Mhm.
Okay, where's the closest religious place other than this cathedral?
They're all over their way.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
This place is
running
lousy with
firemen
religious
carrying
places.
Rhea to the nearest
Okay.
something with holy people.
Cool. As you run out of this passage, other Folded have seen the exit, the ones that were down below, and they are also
Great.
running out. As you enter the
I'm
Yeah.
like with Rhea. If you're trying
No,
to
I'm-
take Rhea from... Well, I've been having Rhea the whole time.
Oh,
so
I thought
if-
I thought you had Pell.
No, I
No.
handed Pell off. to
Yeah, you handed
And
Pell off.
while you two were going at the thing, it was just me. with
Okay,
Rhea.
happiness.
If you're just going to try
I'm
taking
helping.
Rhea...
No.
okay.
I'm helping.
Bryce
I'm
didn't
sorry.
wanna go.
I had that mental image wrong. So,
Mhm.
wait. So who has Pell?
The one folded... Or
And who's flying the plane?
Yeah,
X-folded
the X-folded.
Celia.
X-folded.
And Celia.
You have okay. So we're Bryce. Let's go. Let's find the holy person. We can fix this.
What would
Let's
a
go.
holy person be able to do?
Heal
I'm
her!
running. I am actively moving while
Good.
yelling
Heal
this,
her.
but
Heal her. We're going. It'll be okay.
I don't see anything wrong with her.
We're entering
There's
into
no
the nearest
pulse.
place.
Okay. So you
Wherever that is.
you're running up. You get into the chapel.
Yep.
Roll a perception check for me. I think you have high passive perception.
I do.
Saoirse.
You're correct. Wait, do you want passive or?
I
you
want
wanna
you to
know what
roll- I
my
want you to
passive
give me
is?
a roll. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
You
I
hear
have good-
something out
My
of place
passive
as you get up
perception's
here.
16.
You have a passive perception 16?
I have
think
a
when
passive
I got
of
the
15.
I think I so with this last level I got that proficiency
Okay.
in perception, and that might have affected
Anybody
it.
who has a passive perception greater than 15
Okay.
can
Yeah.
roll on
Yeah.
this.
Greater
Mine is
than
18.
15?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good lord.
It's wisdom. What can I say?
yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Lucky I don't have any points in wisdom.
Okay, so rolls. I need rolls.
Okay, I still need.
Now
to
I
you
know.
still need to roll,
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
You perceive something, but I need you to focus on it.
I think I'm gonna just start yelling like, "Help! We need a healer! Help! Someone!"
Okay.
24.
24.
14.
As you shout that, you kind of tune in. You can hear voices from outside the cathedral now, outside the walls. They sound frenetic. They sound angry. They sound like guards.
Well,
Shut up! The guards are still here. We need to get out.
Wait, I thought we were out. Are we not?
You are in the
We're still
chapel of the
in the
cathedral
cathedral.
now.
Oh,
You have
I'm
escaped
sorry.
the nether regions of the cathedral.
Oh,
so
then
to
I don't.
speak.
I don't want to. I would
I
like
wish
to
you
yell
hadn't.
when we run to a.
You didn't have to.
That was a choice. And I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I don't want to yell until we're at the next religious place.
Okay.
I want to run
yeah. We
to-
are not there yet. You
Oh,
are
okay,
in the
okay.
you are in the chapel right now. You have heard the voices of guards outside of the chapel.
Mhm.
It seems like they have obviously heard whatever commotion you caused, and are rapidly trying to figure out what's going on.
Are we near
They
a
have
river?
not entered the building yet, that you can see.
Okay.
Are we near a river?
No, you're the Golden Concourse is on the opposite side of the banner bank from the river.
Okay, we need to get to the nearest religious place. There's probably some holy people that can do some healing, and we gotta get out of here.
Do we know where the nearest religious place is here? Like, we know there's a lot in this area, but like on our ways traveling here the past couple of times, would we have potentially caught where the nearest one would be?
Sorry, the nearest.
The religious center.
Oh yeah, you're like in the
There's
middle
one
of
next
it.
door,
Yeah, there's one
essentially.
next door. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, okay.
That's where
Yeah.
I'm going. That's where I want us to go.
I'm gonna run ahead. I'm gonna
Okay.
keep an eye out for guards and show you which way to go to get to the churches next door.
Okay. Can
Alright.
we make it wait, hold on. I might be able to make a
I
distraction.
could also make a distraction. I have prestidigitation and things
Yes.
like that.
We could lead guards here. Oh, is that a cantrip for you?
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to turn and
Ooh.
look at
Happiness. That might-
Pell and Celia, and like, how are they? Like, how is Pell doing?
She's breathing.
It just makes like
And
a noise
just
all
to
I
make sure
sound.
Rhea is not.
Okay. Mine does too. Makes
Absolutely
sense.
not. But Celia is like has not taken their eyes off of Pell this
Yeah.
entire time. They are like making sure nothing happens to Pell.
Okay.
All right, let's make a distraction here and then run.
okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go up ahead, sneaking to kind of the first level,
Yeah.
where I'm guessing are the guards outside or have they entered the chapel?
They have not entered the chapel yet.
They've
They are
not
still
entered
outside.
the chapel. Okay. I'm gonna go up ahead and I'm gonna keep an eye out the windows
Mhm.
and see where most of the guards are.
Okay. Roll a perception check for
Sure.
me. And I'm gonna get some different music playing now.
Dang, that was cool.
The
10?
way it rested on the 20
It's really
before
bad.
casually moving to the 2. That's so rude.
10.
10.
Mhm.
Okay. You can see like there's some guards running past the window, and then another
Sure.
one runs the other direction, and it's
Mhm.
like you can't get a feel for like what they're
Mhm.
doing,
Mhm.
but there are some outside, but they don't appear to be like congregating. They appear to be like either working a perimeter maybe,
Sure,
or like
sure.
trying to get to certain positions.
Are there Can you paint me a picture of
Sure.
like in this area of holy? Are we in like shape-wise? How
Mhm.
many different places are there?
So, just to refresh my memory, because it's been
Yeah.
a
yeah,
while since
yeah.
you've been in the chapel.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I should have given you a bit better of a geometry here. So you ran up. You are in the main chapel.
Mhm.
To your left right now is the entrance to one tower. To the
Mhm.
right is the entrance to the other.
Right.
Directly in front of you is the collapsed draconic statue
Sure.
that fell to the floor.
Sure.
Past that are a series of crushed or whole pews, some that
Mhm.
the statue landed on when it
Mhm.
fell, others that are still intact but
Mhm.
worse for wear. There is the collapsed wall directly to your left,
Mhm.
also, that you entered into originally,
Mhm.
that leads out into the like little quad space with the
Mhm.
gardens.
Okay.
And then there was a hole in the outer wall.
Right, there was a gap in the outer wall.
Okay.
So,
So
Hold on.
I'm gonna, and that hole that we went through that one time, the hole in the wall that we went through,
a little hole in the wall.
that little hole in the wall,
Mhm.
you know, they serve really good eggs.
It's pretty good.
Next door to that, there is another place of worship, I'm guessing.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to a window opposite of where that hole in the wall is. So, like, if there's a... So we're in the chapel. That's where we came in. I'm going to go to the clear opposite side of that. And I'm going to cast Major Image, which is a... Let's see... 20 foot... It's... Let's see... I create the image of an object, a creature, or some other visible phenomenon that is no larger than a 20-foot cube. The image appears at a spot that I can see within range, and the range is 120 feet.
Nice.
And it lasts for the duration, which is 10 minutes.
Okay. What you casting?
So, I'm gonna cast... Let's see...
What image are you going to paint?
Yeah, let me think.
No, we don't do that here.
Yeah, I know. It's really bad to think here. I'm gonna cast an image that looks like... I guess another guard.
Okay.
And he's saying, because I can make it like move.
Yeah, it's a major image.
And
Yeah,
do
for
all
sure.
the other stuff. He's saying, "I think I saw something over here. I need backup."
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And while she casts this, I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace.
Nice. Very
Awesome.
good.
So
Yep.
I'm gonna be like, everybody, get around me. We are sneaky, we are silent, stay together, and move quickly.
and then we're gonna beeline for the hole in the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So everybody roll stealth checks for me.
And we get +10 to them.
Good, because
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
that. I'm
Yeah,
very
indeed.
bad at
I was,
stealth for whatever
if
reason.
your thing couldn't have talked, I was actually gonna say you could make a guard and I could imitate the guard. My academic feat.
That's pretty great.
Okay, so in total, 30.
I hate you.
Rand, what
incredible.
spell slot are you casting this with?
It's a 3rd level spell. Oh, you.
No,
you.
it's a 2nd level.
Did you have one left?
I used a sorcery point.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Thanks for letting me know.
I have a dirty 20 on
Dirty
stealth.
20. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Wow!
Plus 10, plus 2. I got a better stealth score than you! Than the rogue in the party!
That's pretty great.
Yeah,
That
that's
will
awesome.
offset Celia's natural 1.
Nice.
Dang. Yep.
Okay.
It all balances
And then
That's good, good, good.
okay, awesome. Yeah. So, and actually, let me roll a. Okay. So, you peek through the wall and you see there were 2 guards that were kind of poking around the collapsed wall.
Mm-hmm.
They you see their heads poke up, and then they rush off around the corner, and you slip through the gap in the wall. It seems like unheard. You hear actually behind you now, speaking up again, the folded. She says, "Wait, where are we headed?"
We're
To a
going
healer, now.
To a healer. Oh, I just remembered another thing. Oh, this is gonna be great.
What?
Okay. I know a place we can go. I need to make a pit stop. It's like right next to it too.
You
No,
better
this
do
is
this
it's
freaking
important. I
fast.
promise it's important.
Will this save
Okay,
their lives?
Go.
It will help.
Stay
We can
close
do
to
it
me.
at the same time, but
Okay.
Go.
okay. And as we do this, I want to ask Michelle to come back in because. So, Michelle, if you're watching the stream right now, in about
should
5
be.
seconds.
It is yeah, it lags.
Yeah.
Michelle,
How
come
on,
back.
Michelle. Please
Baby, come back.
Is the door open?
You
by
can
the way?
blame
Okay.
it all on Paul.
I was not wrong. Thank you.
Is Michelle coming back as Michelle or as Rhea?
Oh
Who are we speaking with? I can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Can
who
you-
are you? So.
Loved coming into this being on the nice 3.
So you are now.
If you look at me like that, I'm gonna laugh, and I'm not in a laughing mood. So many unresolved feelings. It's great. we're living.
Laughing is my
We're
coping
sliving.
mechanism. I've been laughing the whole
So you
time.
were you watching?
No.
Okay, so you are leading the group towards your stash.
Well, hello,
Oh.
everybody.
Oh.
So currently it is you leading the three of them. Celia and Bryce are carrying Pell, and
No, wait, I'm on Rhea.
oh, sorry, you are carrying Rhea right now.
Mhm.
Celia is carrying, I guess.
It's
You and
Celia
Celia are carrying Pell right now.
Okay.
But I assume you probably handed Pell off to Celia, and you are now leading the way to your stash. You recall you left it behind a temple to the Changebringer and a cemetery.
Yes. So yeah, just come on, just follow me. Keep up. We're going.
We're going.
We're going.
Following.
Come
Go,
on.
go, go,
Alright,
go.
Does anybody have a shovel? You got a shovel?
No.
I could make one.
Yes.
Hurry up, go.
Okay.
Yeah. You are moving rapidly
Yeah,
across
we are
the
running.
the courtyard outside the temple. Actually, as you're running out this way towards the collapsed wall, you realize the collapsed portion of the wall that you ran through originally doesn't exist anymore. There's a giant sinkhole in the ground
Neat.
where the cave underneath collapsed.
Oh.
And there are the guards that were around the cathedral. You managed to distract them, but there are a few more guards like around that giant hole in the ground right now. They are also kind of like, a couple of them are like leaning over and trying to like figure out what's going on.
Are they on outside?
They don't
of the
appear
wall?
to have noticed you yet.
Outside of the wall.
Outside of the wall,
Okay.
or where the wall used to be.
Is there a way to go around the sinkhole?
Sure. Yeah.
We go.
It's
around
like
the
it's like
sinkhole.
roughly like over like 100-ish feet in diameter.
We're gonna
wow.
go around the sink.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go around the sinkhole.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
Come on. Let's be quiet.
Yeah. Let's
Oh,
go.
I casted Pass Without Trace, so we
Yeah,
are
yeah, you
the
are
most stealthy.
very well stealthed.
I
You
roll
rolled
more?
an 18 plus a lot of stuff.
Plus 10.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Yeah. Come on. Anyway, I'm just
following.
scurrying.
Yeah.
Doing the. I'm like
Where are we
crouched.
going?
I'm scurrying.
What are we
Just-
doing?
Just look. Why you?
Dude,
You're about
I'm,
to
I'm
find
following you.
I fully stop.
No.
You're about to
Okay,
find
go,
out.
Go, go.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
I'm Bryce. Rand, stop. We need to get there.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
By the way, my name is Dana.
Okay, Dana,
doesn't
you
ring-
have no idea how much. Oh, your accent is so contagious. I love it. But you
As
have no
nice
idea
as
how
it
much you have just changed the paradigm here. Full young Bryce. That was so serious. Anyway, let's go.
Bryce is glaring.
My hair is on fire.
Okay. Well, so yeah, I mean, I imagine I take
Dana.
him
Yeah.
to this grave that 100% has my name on it.
Yeah, you are leading the way.
Love
You
that.
rush out of, managing to evade the eyesight of the guards around this giant collapsed sinkhole. You make your way over to the temple to the Changebringer. There is a nearby plot with gravestones in it. You lead the party in through this, and you see now that you're in the daylight, the folded like tattoos aren't really tattoos, but a sort of kind of like body paint of sorts have started to kind of rub off and smear a little bit on Dana's face. And Dana
I'm
leads
just
you.
rubbing it. Just
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I hate this.
Oh, here,
This
let
is
me
the
help
worst.
you with that,
Yes,
and I'll
please.
do
I would just fully stop.
prestidigitation to clean
you.
the stuff off.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, you fully see a grave with my name on it.
Awesome.
And I'm like, shovel.
Yeah, I'll make
shovel.
one real quick. I
Yeah.
make one with performance of creation.
Cool.
Nice.
I make a shovel. It's a good
I
shovel.
would prefer if it had like a slightly curved handle at the end.
I can make it however you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it like that.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
No, I think I liked it before, actually.
Can we
Did you-
please hurry?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I just start digging up my grave.
Yeah, you kind of do that. The rest of you are like standing around watching this happen.
I'm crouched with Rhea's body.
Can I-
That's exciting.
Can I make another medicine check since?
Yeah,
Can I also make a help action or make one as well?
Are you proficient in medicine?
Let's look.
4?
Hey,
The same,
Does that,
yeah.
does that
I have a
chick
plus
with
2.
the dead one? Does she have
+2.
anything good
You're
on
not
her
are
that
you
can
very
like help?
proficient? It should have a
help
little
out
dot.
real
I'm
quick?
gonna pull. Bryce pulls out and
Then
the
I'd
liaison
say it
and
would be a
points it
flat roll
straight
for
at you. Don't
what
you
he's trying to
dare
do.
touch her!
I'm gonna take that as a no.
She's fine. There's nothing wrong. She didn't get hurt.
She did not get hurt. Okay. He's a little touchy.
He's a bit sensitive.
Our
at the
friend
moment.
is very, very injured. And if you don't start telling us what's happening, my little friend here, Rory's still here, might have an issue with you. And he glows very, very bright
Rory.
and hot.
Actually, he doesn't.
What?
He doesn't give off heat,
That's right.
but he does glow very bright.
But he
That
he
looks
is a fire
very hot.
spirit.
Actually, hold on.
It looks quite hot.
Hold on. I need to look up a certain spell real quick.
Huh? What?
No. Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah. It would.
It would
Don't
totally
do
be
this
done,
to
wouldn't
me.
it?
Rory.
Wait, no.
Yeah,
No.
because produce. What is it? Continual flame. It goes out. Because I made that joke. I was like, huh? Don't let me die.
So when I say my little friend, is there nothing there?
No, okay, I did a little emergency research. People are saying that, so the spell says until it's dispelled. So it would stay around.
Okay.
So Rory is still there.
That
That would
does.
have been such a tragic moment if you went to talk to Rory and he just. Wait, where's Rory?
I almost wish, but no, it's okay.
Well, I can't feel any heat from here, but it does look quite hot. So I'm just gonna keep digging by myself. This
You hear
grave.
in your head, just a gentle voice like, "Are we gonna murk her?"
Probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Good job, Rory.
Yeah, I'm just digging.
Yeah,
Just digging.
you don't have to go too far. Like you hit pretty quick. The dirt here is not super well packed. It is still relatively loose. Whoever did the burying did not do a super great job.
Of course you.
You can't find good work
This
these
was.
days.
I know.
Nobody wants
but
to
I mean,
work.
like, I wanted a challenge, and like this one wasn't super difficult to get out.
All right,
of.
what's in this?
I open it.
Yeah, you just pry it open, and
Like,
you see all of your stuff in there. You see.
My stuff.
So describe
I'm
what
like-
you have in here.
Yeah. So there is a set of leather armor, studded leather armor, or leather armor.
Studded.
Studded.
Yeah.
Studded leather armor. You see a bunch of daggers. There's like
Nice.
solidly like 4 like functional daggers, and then there's just like a bunch of other like just like small knives or whatever that like Dana just like fully just like drops the folded cloak, takes off the leather armor and starts putting on this other armor, right? And then takes out what looks to be like this like fur, or not fur, but like this like slightly thicker vest with like fur around the collar, and these like sleeves that kind of look almost like bandages. And she kind of like puts it on, and she's got these pants with all of these like belts and straps and like pockets on it. They're like cargo pants almost, as if, but like if the cargo things were like separate, if that makes sense. Like I like strapped them. The pants and the like undershirt underneath the leather armor and everything is this like deep blue. It's like a deep navy blue. And the leather armor and all of the leather is black with like maroon kind of like edging to it. And every clasp and every like piece of metal on all of this is rose gold.
Cute.
And she's just like fully like dropped it to her underwear, and then is just like putting the stuff on.
When Bryce audibly, when that happens, like after being so serious, like,
Just look, I've got an intelligence of 8. And she's putting this stuff on, and then she takes
God, it's not a numerical value.
she takes this like really beautiful like maroon or navy blue cloak, and like throws it on and kind of like ties it off, and you watch as like she puts it on, as like the cloak seems to just like quickly like almost like flutter into like different. It almost looks like Dana suddenly was wearing like a couple different outfits before it just like goes back to normal, and she puts on these like really fancy bracelets with a nice deep red gemstone in it, and she kind of like looks at them and kind of seems to put those on with less urgency, and they like a little bit calming, and she kind of like starts putting these daggers away. All of them kind of like go into these back slots, and she and then it's like putting knives like in her boot and like in some of these pockets, and like she's got a belt buckle knife that like is in there, just knives everywhere, and kind of like finds this last knife, and she kind of picks it up. She stares at it, and then puts it in her pocket, and then grabs this coin, stares at it, flips it over, stares at it, and then puts it away. And it's like, all right, we're good now.
Okay, are we gonna save our friend?
Was this
or
the stuff that's
what's
helping?
happening?
What am I doing to save a friend? Pretend like maybe I wasn't here.
You said we were coming here to get something really important that'll help us save our friend.
You didn't say it was really it would help save the friends. You said it was nearby
You
a
said it
temple
would help.
that could help
You said
save
it.
the friends.
So let's go into this temple now that the graveyard is part of. Yes? Yes.
Is that
Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
okay.
Well,
Let's
I
go.
need to cover up my crime real quick. I'm just gonna close the coffin. And start, like, shoveling. I'm gonna use this later. Okay.
Okay.
So judgmental.
Is it the temple that's in the graveyard?
Yeah, it's like right next
Right,
to it.
come on, let's go.
go.
Let's
go.
pick up Rhea and get to that temple.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll meet you guys. Wait, real quick before you go in. Do y'all make a good bit of money doing what you do?
No.
I just turned it.
No, we don't. It's for the love of the game.
I like y'all. Okay. I'm just gonna keep filling the grave and join when I can.
All right, so what do we find in this temple?
So you run in. It is
Help!
yeah. There's a priest that just kind of like stands up alert that was sitting behind kind of a table that had some like incense burning and just some like offerings, some metal coins, some other stuff.
Heal our friend!
Yeah.
Heal our
She
friend!
looks up and she's like,
Come on!
Something happened. Can't tell what's
I'll
wrong.
pay you anything. Just do it now.
okay.
We're not certain what
no-
happened, but
Heal now.
Okay, come this way, quickly.
Kate, we come.
Okay. She leads you back into a back room, away from all of the other like parishioners that are kind of in there. There's some people that are like lighting some incense to like look over and like, oh my god.
I shoot them a glare if I see one of them talk.
But you rush into this back room, and the priestess looks at you. She's like, okay, whoa, all right. We trained for this. Oh, okay. All right. What's wrong?
What are you doing? Unconscious! No pulse! Do something here!
Yes, right. She pulls out a medallion and starts kind of like fiddling with it nervously, like, of course. And she leans down over Rhea's body and kind of like does a little like, yeah, she's dead. Okay.
Hearing that Bryce starts crying.
No.
Okay,
It's okay.
I can't do this like
You
this.
can do this.
No,
Dead is
do you
not
have
permanent.
okay. Do you have a diamond? Do you have How long first? How long? Is
Not
few
long.
minutes?
Not long.
A few minutes. Okay. In if you had to put a number to it, how many minutes?
If I had to put a number to it, how many minutes?
It's
I
been
don't
probably like 15 to 30 minutes.
Like
at this point.
15 to 30 minutes?
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Can I try searching Rhea's pockets to see if she has a diamond?
Oh.
That feels like something she would have on her.
That's
I
actually
look for,
really
like-
accurate.
I feel like she'd have some kind of good jewel on her. Even in any of her clothing. Do I see a
Oh,
diamond?
I have a freaking diamond! I get out the diamond and murder blah.
You have a diamond?
I do!
You do have a diamond, yeah.
I
Is
think
it
it
worth
was from one of our
300 gold
original
pieces?
adventures. It's worth 5,000.
What?
It's not worth that much. I think you may have just added a.
It is
default
not worth that
diamond.
much.
Did I type that
Quick
in?
note to the
I
audience.
do have a diamond, and I just put it on the table.
Okay. She holds it for a second. She's like, "Okay, I'm not. It's been. Usually we have to do this like immediately, but I can try. I can do my best.
Please, anything.
Hmm?
Anything.
Oh, sure. Okay. For the change bring up through all things, change possible.
You do it!
All right. She lifts the medallion up. She kind of puts it to her forehead, to her lips, down, and then she takes the diamond and she puts it on Ria's chest, and sets it down. And you watch energy from her hands envelop the diamond, and the diamond seems to like almost phase into Ria's chest, and you can see this radiant energy where the diamond entered, this circle of radiant energy, and then it just starts to shimmer and shine and radiate out from the spot that it entered, and then like a vine of darkness just from the edge of it just whips out and cuts across the radiant energy. Another tendril of darkness comes out, whips across it, and starts to just close that energy up. That circle just pulls it shut, and this darkness just kind of bubbles and simmers on Ria's chest and then fades back down. And you look at the priestess's face, and she's just like, I haven't seen that one.
Is that
before."
normal?
No.
I'm gonna
No.
turn to Ria and shake
I'll
her.
say that is.
Ria, are you okay?
Nothing.
I've got a ruby. Do it again.
Does she have that weird
Not
amulet
something
on
with
her
the
right
ruby, I'm
now?
Sorry.
I believe she would. The amulet of the devout or whatever.
Curiously, you don't see that amulet on Ria anymore.
Huh.
Celia walks up to the priestess and says, like, I need you to heal my sister now. She is still alive. Now. Priestess says, she's not going to do that, right? Okay. And she lays her hands on Pell, and Pell's breathing begins to... It was kind of raggedy. It was rough sounding, but starts to stabilize. And Pell is not awake, but Pell is alive. And Celia kind of... Who had grabbed onto, like, the scruff of the priestess's, like, neck, kind of releases it and goes over and crouches next to Pell. That's where we're at. You actually watch... one more thing. Who here has the highest passive perception? You got crazy. What is yours at
15.
now? 15. What's yours?
18?
18 and 17?
My
Right?
passive perception is 16.
I'm not. I mean, I imagine I'm
You probably...
probably still
Yeah,
feeling
yeah.
the grace.
yeah, you're still,
Probably not going to quick at it.
brushing it off. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think the rest of you left as you were still doing that. Okay.
Will meet me outside. It's fine.
The two of you see, as the priestess was, like, laying on hands, she kind of had to, like, unbutton some of the top buttons to, like, get some, like, actual, like, contact with Pell's body for the magic to work. And you see as she does that, a necklace, a pendant is around Pell's neck. A pendant that you don't recall seeing there before, and that looks familiar, that you've seen around Ria's neck.
Do I recognize it?
You don't see it.
Oh.
I need both of you roll a perception check for me real quick.
Yeah.
Can you take your die?
Yes.
Do you want to move it a little bit this way?
Yeah, I've been like, whoosh.
Well, that way it's in the camera view.
15?
15? Okay.
What machinations are you up to?
That is
I'm like-
an 8.
An 8,
An
yeah.
8.
You just... It almost looks like a trick of the light, but the actual metal braid of the necklace, as you look closer, it almost looks like it's seared into Pel's flesh. Like it's not an actual necklace anymore. Like the metal has fused to her neck. But you can't see much more than that. And then Celia begins to, tend to Pel.
Saoirse's gonna keep this to herself.
Saoirse will remember that.
For now.
On top of the Saoirse will remember that.
So, what are you doing now?
Is that gooey darkness still there, or is it gone?
It does not appear to be visible anymore.
It disappeared.
The priestess kind of looks you over and says, like, I appreciate you turning to the Changebringer when times are hard.
Here's a pamphlet.
I think I might have to ask you to leave.
No,
I don't know
that's
what you've been
totally
doing, but whatever
understandable.
that is an evil that is far beyond my skill level.
Yeah,
and
we're not really sure what that is either. She walked with some strange crowds, but we were, friends with her anyway.
I'm
we
just
thought
crying
we would.
over Rhea's body. I'd like to.
Bryce, let's. Okay.
Here, we've got something about grief that I can.
Okay.
If she reaches, I'm smacking. like full smack
like-
away.
Oh. Okay. No, that's actually covered on.
Where's the next healer?
The next.
Honey,
yeah,
I don't
I don't
know if it's gonna. You saw that.
It's
not-
just dark magic. We can stop it.
I don't think this is something that a priest can handle. Do you understand me?
Then who can handle it?
You stare out with your blood red eyes that are still red, by the way, and she just is like, I don't know. That's beyond the means of a normal holy person.
What about Perennia?
I mean, we could start there.
Come on, Bryce. Let's take her body. She's not gone yet.
I think Bryce is gonna just silently nod. He isn't actually looking at anybody right now. He's very head down, hood drawn. But he gives a silent nod and just kind of takes one of Rhea's arms.
I'll take the other.
Okay. And where are you headed now?
I'm going to Perennia's.
Okay. So you.
As we walk out, the only thing I want to say is as we pass Pel and Celia, I want to turn and look at Celia, and I'm gonna say, we'll talk later.
Where are you staying?
What's a way to describe
3 sheets,
Perennia's?
right?
Isn't that what it's called?
Aren't
3
we?
sheets?
That's still at the 3
Yeah.
sheets.
Mhm.
We are.
3 sheets.
I'll be there.
I'm going to stay for a little bit longer.
Okay.
Mm.
That's fine.
That's fine. So
Um,
I'd like to have Rory teleport us as quickly as possible there.
That's a 15-foot.
Never
Not just that, but
too.
also explosions.
Yeah,
So it's like Pel is like
Not happening.
dead.
Not happening.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, actually, Celia and Pel stay behind as well, as Celia tends to Pel. So it's you two, Dana.
Did we pass Dana?
Yeah, you
Oh,
passed
yeah.
Dana, who is just now I guess kind of
I'm a kind of, and
tapping
then
the top of
Are you
it.
passing, really?
Pat, pat,
yeah.
pat.
And then I turned, I see you guys carrying the body. I'm like, oh, please don't tell me you want to bury her in this grave.
We're not burying anyone.
Okay, we are not burying anyone.
We're still walking.
Where to next?
I don't know. Go talk to them in there.
I love Dana so much. Oh my god.
Talk
We're seeing a
to
friend.
who? seeing friend. Honestly, I've been trapped for like lots of years. Can I come, please?
Oh my gosh, if you shut up, you can come.
You can come if you want. Data's incredible.
Thank you.
So
Cannot read the room. Just fantastic.
Intelligence of 8.
Yeah.
Charisma of 8.
That's what we're talking about.
Can't she do?
What can she do? You'll find out.
after the break,
Oh,
all right.
we're gonna try
there
to
we
take
go.
a break as you all head to Perennia's.
Cool.
So we'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks for joining us.
That's tragic. Wow.
Okay. Just FYI.
No, it just sounds cool.
Cool, because I'm not gonna step on your toes.
Hey there.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello there.
I love you a lot.
Fancy seeing you here. Come around here often.
Hopefully, at least once a week.
You really should.
It'd be really nice if you did.
I really want Dana to just be like, my hands are cold. I like put it on Rhea and be like, still a little warm.
Oh no. So welcome back. If you're just joining us,
Ria's dead.
we had a death in the party,
If you
but it's
missed that,
okay.
It's
Surprise.
Yeah, it's like, it's not okay. So many unresolved feelings. I'm laughing, but I'm crying inside.
I
But
have not accepted this.
before we get back into that, though, I think we got a couple things to do first, right?
Our wild question.
We've got a
Wild question.
I hate you
Whoa. Oh, the D100
That was-
isn't. It was in that box with all the other dice,
Here.
Aw.
which means is it in the chest?
Here. Wait, here.
Kaboom.
You just roll this. Can you move that dice out of there real quick?
Oh no, they're all. I know where they are in the other room. But
Empty.
Oh, can you scooch the?
It's a 100.
Wait, hold on. Can you scooch the dice tray?
Wait, no, it's a 10.
No,
There we
that's a
go.
100.
It's
it a
those
100?
dice are impossible to read anyway. So,
It's a 10 on one and a 0 on the other.
which one is the 10 on?
The double digit
The
dice.
double digit? That's 100 then.
That's 100.
At least in my
is.
brain.
Okay.
Yeah, because this one always has like the numbers, the 0, so those will always be like
the ones.
The
the,
tens.
the tens number.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
Is it?
Silly.
So, that means... Oh, this is a good
Wait,
one. This
no.
is
But
Is
wouldn't
it-
that
no,
just
it
be
is
10?
because the highest number
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
0,
You're
0.
right. Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just 10.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
10.
Wait.
It is.
Okay, we'll go with 10.
100%.
Mine is
Saoirse's
Damn.
right.
and it's 10.
That's fine. If you don't want it to be 100, that's fine because you won't all get inspiration.
That's a
then.
10.
No.
Damn.
That's a spoiler. If you roll 100, you all get inspiration.
Dang.
Oh, fun.
Instead,
Yeah.
this will be in light of current happenings, this will
Oh,
be a
no.
fun one. What is currently motivating your character to stay with the party?
Wasn't last week's what would motivate your character to leave the party? Like,
Well, now we
yeah.
get the inverse of that.
These questions have been very pointed.
I mean, that's actually kind of cool that you got both of those questions
Yeah.
back to back.
Really flesh out our motivations here.
So, who wants to start? I mean, Dana is kind of.
Yeah, I'll start.
Kick it off, Dan.
Wait. I'll let me give two answers. One
Yeah.
for Rhea,
I was
and
gonna
just
say-
like rub the salt in the wound a little bit.
Yeah.
Rhea's motivations were to like save as many people as possible and like do as much good as she could and try to redeem the name that she has in the life that she's been given. Because Rhea did, growing up, try really hard to be what she was told she was supposed to be, and did commit really heinous acts of evil. And once she kind of like broke out of that, she transitioned, she left, and she killed her father. She tried to do everything she could to redeem herself. And I think, honestly, ultimately, dying, saving the life of somebody else, is the only way Rhea thought that she would die. For Dana, her motivations, she's trying to evade somebody that is hunting her. That's it.
Okay.
And make money for
And
the people
also
that she loves.
fill this hole in the ground. That's a tripping hazard.
Play more pranks, maybe.
Woohoo.
You gotta ask her what her idea of a prank is.
It sounds like it might involve bodily harm.
What gives you that idea?
Oh,
no,
this is
she'd
a
never
weird
do that.
feeling.
Not the massive amount of daggers. Or anything.
All right. Who's next?
Ah, the old bucket of daggers on top of the door trick.
Writing
Classic.
that down.
Oh no! Gosh, I can't believe I totally forgot. I buried you alive. I'm so glad it's been like only 60 years.
for Bryce, it's definitely mainly like he's on this quest to save his dad, but he's also 13 years old and has never left his home city before. So like he does not know anything about anything. Magic is very unknown to him. All these environments are unknown to him, and this has been like you guys have been the main consistent group he's been around, and he had found a faux mother figure in Rhea.
I'm sorry.
To kind of like settle that spot of like I'm still growing and I'm not actually confident in being my own human being yet, and I need someone's help here.
You can
Like,
have a cool aunt now.
I don't know if Bryce trusts to fill that figure again because they might just die.
This is like, are you gonna be like extra hostile because she's gonna be like the stepmother figure to you? Like,
It's
gonna
gonna-
act out.
It's gonna really depend. I don't know if Dana really
yeah,
cares.
Dana
to
looks
be-
like she's in her like young 20s.
Yeah.
By the way, like around y'all's age. Because how old are you? Saoirse? Okay.
You're no Adrian. It's like you. Could
Yeah,
be-
who cares?
Okay. Fair enough.
Teenager.
You're like 19, 20.
You don't actually know.
Okay. You look.
Wow.
You've
Ish.
both acted in the role of a child in this campaign as well as an adult.
I think
So
we've had
you
multiple
do not know.
conversations about what age Rand might be, and then we never land on a number, and it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Does Rand know what age she is?
No.
I was gonna say, like,
No.
What about Saoirse?
Saoirse low-key thinks that, like, if she hangs out with enough bonkers magic people, that they might be able to make a portal or something to the Feywilds, and so she can get home. And, well, it's not panning out that well. So maybe she'll, I don't know, find somebody else. Who knows? Maybe go on a little solo quest or something. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna have another family member leave.
But like they've grown on her.
Yeah.
A
It's
bit.
gotten better, and,
Sure.
and you've literally changed since you first met them.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Also, I think like Michelle and I owe you an apology for killing one of the characters right before you, or right as you're working on art for
Yeah.
the stream.
Yeah.
That was really mean. I was
Really
about to bring
sorry.
that up. Like now I have to
Sorry about that.
redraw the entire thing.
If in our defense, the likelihood that she was actually going to die was very low.
Although, you know what?
Yeah, that was
You
like a
might
1
not
in 4
need to change
chance
it,
that you were actually
because
gonna
you
die
could
there.
keep it for season 1.
that's true.
Because we're about to move soon, which I need to talk to you about.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay,
So-
well,
I was about to say, and
Rand?
your
What's the
Twitch
question?
emoji is gonna be
What is
like
keeping Rand in
rip. Like it's gonna be
Oh, I love
your
that.
character face, but it's gonna be like kind of grayed out and like over the top. It's gonna say
I
rip.
love that.
like the paint tool, like the pencil on.
God.
Rip.
What we did for like
The chiller
for
font.
for the thumbnail for this, if you did like a pig like Rhea's portrait and then just like the GTA wasted.
I was thinking like if you've seen those big like bumper stickers that are like, you know, in memoriam.
Oh, wow. Oh my god.
Rhea would go bonkers for that. She's real tacky.
There's-
well, she was real tacky.
There's somebody that works at my job, and I walk by their car all the time, and on the back it just has one of those, and it's like fishing in heaven, and then
What?
Amazing.
that
That
They
tells you
stock the ponds in heaven.
everything you need to know about that person.
Stock the ponds in heaven? Wow.
Do you think fish go to heaven?
They should. I believe fish go to heaven.
I hope they do.
I don't
I've
know.
killed
Fish
several.
are kind of like up there with bugs in terms of horrific things that they do, just like naturally in nature.
I feel like we should get back on track.
Yeah,
That's
Rand.
true.
Sorry.
We're really
yeah, we
close,
derailed.
yeah.
Rand,
What was the question?
what is
The way
currently
fish just be eaten.
keeping you with the party?
I think for Rand, for me, Rand was always confused why these people were following her. Why in the name did like acquire more people
But then, like, she got to know people, and she really loved these people. And maybe one of the only people she started to trust just is no longer moving. And I think before today, Rand started to kind of understand feeling needing to help Bryce, because him finding his living parent is a whole lot more important than, like, something she can't do anything about, which is her family being dead. But now it's like, I don't know. I don't know what Rand's gonna do. Let me just throw that out there.
Okay. Well, with that, three of you. Yeah.
What about one of your characters?
Oh yeah.
NPC.
Well,
Staying with the party?
yeah.
Well, what are their motivations? Maybe, like, I don't know. Let's
Pell.
pick somebody.
Ladar?
Pell.
David.
David. Which one was David?
Who's David?
What do you mean, Brad?
Brad. Brad.
Who's
He can be David
Brad?
if you want.
I always think it's David, but his name is Brad.
Okay, Brad.
Ria's father.
So Ria's father.
And her
Wait,
mother.
it's not Emrys?
No, his name is Brad Emrys.
You expected something a little bit more.
It was just like, like solo name, like it's just
No,
Emrys.
it's
like,
Brad.
that was
Well,
the last name.
Like Hilgor or...
I should have known though. I wrote you down as Ria Emrys. I should have known that was the last name.
And her mother, Asphalea. Brad and Asphalea.
Yeah. The normal pairing.
It's
What's her ship name?
Basphalea.
Asphalea Bass.
Brasphalea.
Yeah. So.
Asphalea. Okay. I'm sorry.
So Brad, throughout most of his life, has been motivated by feelings of inadequacy, living up to a name that he feels he has not done a good job living up to, failing to succeed in the ways that he wants to succeed, and shame that kind of expresses as anger, hostility, arrogance, and that motivates him more because there is a hunger for a specific knowledge, a hunger for specific goals that his father has pursued, and his father's father has pursued, and so on and so forth. And a certain event kind of lit a fire under his butt. So,
In his heart.
In his apple bottom jeans.
yes, exactly. But yeah, those are kind of that's a as specific of an answer as I'm going to give.
I did not know this. Thank you, Paul.
But that is Brad. So
That's Brad.
I didn't know that you know when you
And
start
that's Brad.
a sentence and you're like, I'm gonna figure out the end of this sentence by the time I get to it, and then you're at the end of it. That's where I am right now.
Cool.
So the three of you now, 1, 2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
are headed to Perennia. You're staying behind
Observing.
at the temple. So we'll go with you three first, and then we'll cut back to you. So you three are running through the streets with a dead body on your back.
Cool.
Do I have that right?
Yeah.
In between, yeah.
You got a weekend at Bernie's it?
What? Okay. Are you going stealthily, or are you just like?
I mean, I still have cast Pass No Trace.
Yeah, that's true.
So as long as
But the
y'all
body
are within,
can't make a stealth save.
but anything
Not
within
that
30 feet of me, right? Anything within 30 feet
Sunglasses
of me.
on her.
She'd have
Also
disadvantage
gets
anyways.
advantage. Or
I mean,
+10, yeah.
she's not. Ria's not there anymore, so it's basically just like carrying a backpack.
But yeah, if you're not moving stealthy, you're gonna roll stealth at disadvantage still, to try and be covert enough to not get noticed by. Now that you walk back outside, a lot of guards that are now rushing towards the cathedral. And Bryce, you actually catch just a snippet of two of these guards' conversation as they run by. One of them, you just hear something like, I don't know, something about cultists. They say Ash is coming. I don't know. And then you lose the rest of the conversation.
We have to go, but we need to be stealthy.
All right, let's go quickly.
Can't be seen.
Let's do it.
Flips up a hood.
Okay. I'm glad you're being stealthy because the first image that popped into my head was like banana guards and from Adventure Time, just like wee woo, like a dead body between them. Yeah, roll stealth, the three of you.
With disadvantage, or
With it, no, just straight up.
okay.
Since you're trying to be stealthy.
And add 10.
Thank goodness I have my stealth.
So that's
24.
19.
19.
35.
All right. Yeah.
Wow, I got the
okay.
lowest score. Now that I rolled a 2. Ended up at 19.
Well, actually, let me ask this: how are you transporting Ria's body right now?
We had arm, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because
Like
I
we're
doubt
both
So
under
two
the
of you
arms.
are doing
Is Dana
it.
So it
helping
looks like someone's
carry the dead body.
inebriated
Okay.
I
between
mean,
us.
that's
you know,
fine. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Dana could help. I mean, I'm pretty.
just stay behind us.
Bryce is just going to give a
okay.
glare.
Okay.
I'm feeling some hostile energy.
So you begin to Weekend at Bernie's Ria through the streets and into the kind of back alleys to get to Perennia's house. Some guards run by you, but don't even seem to like notice you. They are like focused, and you can see like a slightly kind of worried look on some of their faces as they run past. But you seem to make it through okay, and you make it back to Perennia's home, the familiar kind of stone little hut that seems a little out of place in this district. The plants in the window and the vines kind of growing up the stone faces, giving it a more natural, homey feel to it. Door's currently closed. But
I am pounding on it.
yeah. I wonder how that sounds on stream.
I'm so sorry if that was painful.
Audience, tell us, good or bad audio?
We're gonna have a new segment. It's like good audio, bad audio. We're gonna like
the mustard bottle squeeze next
but within a few seconds, you just hear the door creak open. And you see the familiar sight of Perennia. The gray kind of stone-ish looking
I'm gonna push
face.
in.
Door cracks and just like
You gotta help us.
Okay,
help right now.
right.
Do something. Help her. She's nice.
no. Oh, okay. Set her down over here.
Dana's just kind of like holding and twiddling a knife in her fingers.
Hi. Is she with you?
No.
They're my best friends.
Help Ria right now.
Okay, can you
Rhea,
please put that
Rhea.
away?
Miss Ria's in trouble.
Alright.
I think she's well past trouble. I'll try. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I need help from both of you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One hand each. On top of mine. On top of Ria's chest. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You, other hand, hold this, and she hands you just some petals of this blood red flower. She says, "When I give you the word, put those on top. Okay? You?" And she pulls out she's got like some lit incense, some sandalwood on the nearby table. She pulls one. She says, "You hold this. Just hold it. And when I give you the word, you are going to hold it over. And then there's some sage that you're going to light after that, and you're going to use that as well. Okay? All right." And she puts her other hand over the top of your two hands that are on top of hers, and she mutters a few words in a language that none of you, actually, you know Druidic, so you understand the words that she says that translate, approximately to Weave of the world, watch out for this one. Mother of this world, bring forth life where it has departed. And you watch her hands glow with green energy pulsing out. The purple scar across Perennia's head that normally looks kind of like a chasm of stars begins to light up. The little individual points of light turn a little shade of green in tandem with her hands. Your hands as well glow green, and a spot of green appears on Ria's chest as well. And she looks at you and she says, "Now." And she pulls everybody's hands away. The petals scatter and kind of in like a little torrent of cyclone kind of appear to gently just rotate in a cylinder around the spot where you had your hands. And then she says, "Please light the sage."
I do it.
And bring it over, and you watch the sage, the smoke coming from the sage get whipped into this little cyclone, and it forms a little bit of a tornado in the center, and then you watch all of the petals of the flower just lift up and then go down the cyclone, and the whole thing just into Ria's chest. And then you hear just a gurgling, bubbling noise, and that same like kind of inky blackness appears, and the petals are just ejected, and they just stick to the roof of the cottage, just a singeing just coming off of them. As you look up, you see they're covered in this like thick black ichor that's just melting the ceiling of the roof slightly.
Oh, no.
And that ichor also appears on the chest and just kind of like oozes out gently, and then seems to just reabsorb back into Ria's body.
What is that?
Perennia's face is just like, she has obviously an ashen kind of complexion naturally as an earth genasi, the stone coloration of her face, but it just looks pale and pallid now, just like I've never seen anything like that. What happened?
Faced off against those stupid quarry to save
What?
Hell. I'm gonna take the dream stick and I'm gonna like thrust it towards and say, "Take this away."
Takes it like-
That's stupid.
I told you to tell me if you're going to do that.
Well, we did, okay? And she's dead. And I'm gonna like storm away and out the door.
This is why I warned you. It's not the time for those words. I'm sorry.
So there's nothing you can do.
Not against whatever this is. Do you have a plan for her body? This
Boy,
is an
I'm glad
honest
I'm not
question.
here.
I'm not asking to keep it for myself. I'm asking because there's something wrong here.
I mean,
Wrong how?
I do have multiple empty graves.
You do run with interesting folk.
They're for pranks.
I don't know who this person is.
The
But
social
what do you
grace
mean?
of an 8.
Woohoo!
I mean,
Woohoo!
that is supposed to heal just about any mortal energy and injury that comes across. That is not an easy spell. It's not one that I use lightly.
So, are you saying this is an immortal injury?
I mean, it seems... I don't know. There's no... I don't see any injury. I don't see any harm. I just... This looks like some sort of horrendous curse. I don't... I've never dealt with your eyes. What happened to your eyes?
So if you
What
can't
happened?
help her, who can?
I don't know. Do you... Without knowing the source of the curse, I have no idea how you can remove it. Something that powerful? I'm sorry.
If
don't
we
know.
figure out how to remove the curse, would your spell work again? Like if we...
I can't say that. I don't know.
I mean, that's not a no.
Okay,
We
so
can try something.
we need to figure out this curse. How do we preserve her body?
I know of a few spells I can keep her from decaying. I can do that much.
Then
Is that
do
okay
it.
with you? If I do that, will you tell me what happened with your eyes? I'm going to do it regardless. I just want to know.
That is the least of our issues
No,
right
it
now.
is actually not. Have you looked in a mirror recently?
Deal with the body.
She reaches over. She shuffles over to a cabinet against the wall that has all these kind of like tiny little drawers in it. And she pulls one, and there is a little kind of woven basket in it that has a little bit of some small powders in it. And she picks it up and she takes it over, sprinkles it across the length of Rhea's body, and she mutters a few words, and the powder kind of glows a little bit, and then appears to disperse, and a protective kind of bluish glow outlines Rhea's body. And Perennia says that will keep her from succumbing. But that's as much as I can do right now.
How long do we have?
I believe it's...
Consulting the gods. Hold.
Let me check my notes.
She's
So
rifling
good.
through a lot of notebooks right now.
Yes, I will tell you in just a minute.
All handwritten. She's so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm pulling it up now. Yes, okay. My memory was sharp. 10 days. I can guarantee 10 days. After 10, What would you like me to do?
We're not there yet. I'm gonna go follow Bryce.
Okay.
Well, it was nice meeting you. And, like, look, tensions feel a little high. And
I've done
I'm-
nothing but help these people, and they just hate me so much.
that's
they do
actually not
seem
true.
a little mean, but also, right? Like, look, they were close with this person, and you know, death makes us strike out, and there are times in our lives in which we act selfishly, and we don't know why, but we do. And they came to you with this. So I'm gonna go because they're now my best friends. So I'm gonna.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
What's Dana's wisdom score?
It's like 10.
Just sudden wisdom, just like...
Yeah.
If you were to put a number to
I
it,
may
what
not
would
have read a
you-
book or two in my days, but I do know this about grief.
Oh, a second, I'm gonna tell you.
Let me drop some
Um,
wisdom about interpersonal relations.
She's got 12.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's a plus
Plus one.
one.
That's
Yeah, that's slightly above average.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
You make a powerful point.
I know. Bye.
hold on.
What?
Hold on.
They're definitely leaving me
I
behind.
know,
they
I
don't
know.
like me.
It will just take
They're
a
my
second.
best friends, but I ain't their
will
best friend.
Just take a second.
Yeah.
Rand, the scary one with the hair.
Yeah.
Her eyes weren't always like that. Did you see the red? Take a look at her eyes. That is a problem.
Okay.
That is tied to something related to the quarry spirits
The core
that
spirit.
were in that cathedral. You must get her back here.
So like those core spirits they're dangerous.
Absolutely. I assume.
I got to inform somebody about that because honestly, we just thought it would be a little fun. And I'm gonna go.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Just relay the
I
message
will-
gently.
Gently.
She doesn't
And-
take kindly to assertive.
Oh,
I like that
Yeah.
the Peridia now knows
Yeah.
the psychic kind of some of our characters.
I'll make sure we get back to you.
Thank you.
I got you.
Okay, I guess I'll clear the table.
Would you like any help with that?
No, this is best.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. And she'll just kind of walk out. Did you guys leave?
Oh yeah, I followed Bryce.
Well, I mean,
Wherever-
but like, are you guys like outside waiting, or have you just like walked away and left Dana behind?
I'm following wherever you went.
Well, so I've been trying to figure out what Bryce did when he walked out because there was some time before, like,
Yeah, there was a few minutes that passed.
and
For sure.
Maybe you ran off.
Bryce is out there, but you do see, because I had 2 pairs of those goggles. One of those pairs of goggles is shattered on the ground out there, and Bryce is just outside, hood drawn, not engaging.
We'll come back to that in a second. Saoirse,
Yeah.
what are you up to?
Drawing a knife.
Everybody has a knife.
It's the rules of the ocean. Everybody has a knife.
Yeah. Just I also like to say, like, you saw her put nothing of like general usefulness into like any of her pockets. Literally, just a bunch of knives.
Yeah.
And, like,
I'm
some, like,
brainstorming like
tool like
I'm-
pickpocketing thing or like lock picking things. stuff
yeah,
like that.
I'm
Yeah.
brainstorming like character ideas, and the first thing I had to draw was a knife.
Yeah.
So,
I like this idea that you have like pockets all over, and you like just put a knife in the pocket and it just like stabs right to the bottom of it. Like, yep, there we
All
go.
of you guys have holes in the bottom of the pockets from all the knives.
That's why I can only carry knives.
Sorry, Saoirse.
it's okay. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Saoirse is, I guess, just staying close in the chapel and keeping an eye on the proceedings, I suppose, because
Okay.
that amulet has really piqued her interest, and she is very suspicious.
Pell's amulet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure, Pell's
I forgot
amulet,
about Pell.
whatever.
Yeah.
Rhea's amulet.
Rhea's amulet that Pell stole and fused into her skin. Infused into her skin.
While she was unconscious.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
after the rest of the group leaves, the priestess comes up to you and says, would you like to, I mean, are you staying? Is
I'd just like to make sure things go all right here.
sure.
I'm sure you have it perfectly under control. I just...
Well,
I-
it may surprise you, but no.
Oh,
no, I don't.
okay. Okay, that's great. At
you-
least this person doesn't seem as in as dire straits as, well. Yes, I'll stay for a while if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have things to tend to out in
Absolutely,
in the
sure,
chapel,
yeah.
But if you feel like coming out and making an offering to the Changebringer at a time like this, it might be wouldn't be a bad idea.
Can I have like a pamphlet or something?
Sure. What would you like to read about?
What's just like a I guess just like your general vibes.
Oh, sure. Yes. Tenets and rules.
Yeah, that.
We don't have a lot of those here.
Oh, no rules.
No.
Oh,
No,
interesting.
It's, the Changebringer doesn't quite work like that.
Huh.
If you've got time.
I mean, it would be.
It's okay if you're not.
No, I'd like to read up on it. Sure.
Okay.
Yay.
Come by whenever and we
Okay.
can talk about it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I've got a pamphlet on grief that you might find very helpful.
Crinkled from where, Bryce?
Just give me a minute. As good as
I've
new.
only just gotten into summer, and I'm really feeling myself right
Oh,
now,
no,
and it's just like,
fine.
it's
See, we're on a donation
isn't
basis.
there.
That's all. It's just
yeah.
yeah, we don't.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really appreciate all
No,
that you've
absolutely.
tried.
No, it's okay.
Absolutely.
Take as much time as you need. Back
yeah.
here. My condolences.
Yeah.
And she scurries off.
Okay.
And it's just you and Pal
Mm-hmm.
and Celia now.
Okay. I guess Saoirse's gonna say to Celia, "Did you see anything that I didn't see? Like, what
What?
happened in there? It's all just kind of a blur. Like, what was that thing? Like, how did this happen? What are these
I don't know.
forces that we're dealing with? This is bonkers."
I've never seen anything like that. I mean, first off, I'm sorry. But
They're not gonna find any help at where they're going either. It's
Sure.
that ichor, those tentacles, and that's. It feels like part of Rhea. You know? Resist. Yeah.
She doesn't seem. She's hearing you, but she doesn't seem to be processing.
No,
the words
you
that
have
you're
your
saying.
own thing to deal with. I'm sorry.
No. They look at you and they say like.
I'm glad we were able to get Pell out.
I'd have to. I came all that way for her, and then I'd have to. If I hadn't have done that, your friend may have. I'm sorry.
There was a lot going on.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes our bodies do things without our brains intervening. Self-preservation, all that sort of thing.
What good is
It doesn't-
preserving yourself at the cost of others like that? I'm sorry.
It's...
Thank you for staying.
Yeah. Now that I'm, like, up closer to the amulet, though,
Mhm.
I want to peep it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peep
Oh my
that
gosh, I'm
in.
so sorry this happened.
I'm so sorry. Some pretty jewelry, though, on her
What's
sister.
But like, are you gonna claim that? Is that
Yeah,
what-
is that like,
I would say that you could roll with guidance, but
no.
that's an ability that
It's
we
gone.
didn't really use anyways. So
Wow.
Ooh.
I asked for it.
You did.
When I remember.
Perception?
Yeah.
Okay. 19.
19.
Hmm?
Yeah. As you're talking, you've gotten closer. You've kind of,
Sure.
I assume, maybe like taken a knee down next
Sure,
to Celia.
sure.
They've been on their knees like next to Pell, just kind of, just brushing the hair out of the way. Just kind of like, they never really take their eyes off of Pell for too long. Just like they'll look up at you and then they'll look back and like, making sure that she's still there, But as you get closer, you see Pell is wearing this. I mean, she was wearing folded robes, right? And you can see there's just kind of a tear in the fabric of the armor that she was wearing underneath, or the not the armor itself, but like the cloak covering it. And you can see underneath now, and that chain that you saw earlier is like fused to her neck, and you can see the top of an amulet just where the tear ends in the fabric of Pell's tunic, and you can see the amulet that Rhea recovered is embedded in Pell's chest. It is fused to her skin, and you see with that roll, that was a good roll, the edges where it fused to the skin looks dark, and it looks almost like the skin is flaking, but the closer you look, it almost looks like scales right around the rim where that amulet has fused with her.
I'm gonna say to Celia, she wasn't wearing that before.
Wearing?
I guess
No.
you couldn't even call that
Oh.
wearing. The amulet.
No. I don't
That was something of
I
Rhea's.
don't think so. What?
That was... She found it. Rhea found that amulet.
I like looked over, you're like, no. How?
It's got some weird magic in it. It's got this, like, I guess a good side and a bad side, and I didn't really understand the whole thing.
There's a good side to that.
Well, but I don't know how that could have happened.
Is it
How it could have gotten there.
bad? I mean, it looks bad.
It feels bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really... I mean, there's, like... scales, almost. Rhea had some, like, draconic attributes. But...
Do you think it's... I mean, it's got to be related, right?
I mean, yeah, sure. But I... What?
Wasn't this the amulet that was like the heart of the liaison?
She's so itchy. Oh, she's so itchy.
Hepatitis draconic. Sorry, I really couldn't help it.
No,
Wasn't the amulet the thing we found in the heart of the liaison?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
It's some sort of powerful thing, and she held on to it, and I don't know what kind of magic it has, or what kind of power connection it gives her to anything, but it's made a connection with your sister now, for sure.
I don't like that.
You may want to look into it and figure out what it is.
I don't even know where to start.
I'll ask my party. They might have some leads.
Okay. Thank you. Once Pell's awake, I was planning to head back to the 3 sheets.
Okay, yeah, that's where
We can maybe
we're
regroup.
staying. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I-
That's... Probably don't go digging at it with a knife or anything.
I
I mean,
hadn't
that's
planned on
not...
it.
No. You
Your new
you
friend
never know.
seems
You
to be the
gotta...
one to do that.
Yeah.
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 Friend is generous.
Sure. I'm just going to sit a while. You're welcome to stay, I guess.
Yeah, I'll read one of those pamphlets or something to kill
They're
time.
not useful.
No, I didn't think so,
No.
but I mean, just to be polite.
No. You look down and you see one that's just kind of like folded up like multiple times
Sure.
next to Celia.
Absolutely what I did in church.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah,
how
there
many
you
different...
Everything will be okay.
And there's another one that just has a bunch of doodles on it. It's just sitting on the other side. Yeah.
There's a poster somewhere of like a little cat,
The
like,
cat?
hanging
Yeah.
on.
Hang in there.
So, yeah, Celia just kind of sits down and just is in their thoughts.
Sure, yeah. I guess, Saoirse will take the grief pamphlet and, yeah, I guess, head back to the 3 sheets.
Okay. The three of you, what you doing? We left off with Bryce. You are hood up in the street, smashed goggles at your feet.
I'm going to slowly approach Bryce. Hey.
Did you say like shoulders kind of tense, but no real response?
Perennia has frozen Ria's body, and we have 10 days to figure out what curse is on it. Her.
What's the point? She's gone anyways.
I mean, she's not... She might not be.
I'm gonna like take the new bracer that I got, actually, that's just loosely on my wrist, and just chuck it like across. Like, we tried everything! We did a stupid diamond spell, we went to Perennia. Magic and this quarry nonsense has only caused us horrible things this entire time. I've never seen someone die from nothing! And with that, like, last statement, Bryce is gonna, like, whip around, turning to you, as, like, tears are streaming, angry, faces red. Mess. Rio was the only one who knew what to do next.
You're right. You're right.
What are we supposed to do now? I don't know what's going on. And he just collapses. Kind of huddled on the ground, sobbing.
I'm just gonna, like, kneel in front of you. This is my fault. This never should have happened. And I'm going to do everything I can to fix it. But I think you need to go find your dad. Because he is still out there. And while I think maybe we can break this curse, maybe we can't. But I know that you can find your dad. Because you are the best investigator I've ever met. And I'm so sorry this is happening.
If I'm such a good investigator, how has it taken this long? How did I not know? I brought that cave down on Miss Rhea.
It wasn't just you, buddy.
Yes, it was. I destroyed that obelisk. I brought that cave down.
I think we all did. This isn't your fault. We wouldn't even have been in there in the first place if it wasn't Come on. Let's go back to the 3 sheets.
So as you start to head out and
Bryce?
Yeah, I
Wait.
will just
'Cause
I
where are you
imagine
going
like
to
I kind of
combat?
like came out in the middle of that, and like is kind of like sticking to the back. And when you guys get ready to go, look, I often deal with tense situations with humor. It's a little bit of a coping mechanism for me, so I'm sorry. Why don't you tell me about the kind of person Rio was? If you don't mind, I need some place to stay tonight. If I may tag along with y'all to the 3 sheets, and you can tell me about the kind of person that can have people care that much about them. I want to know about this Rio person.
Bryce, who like a moment ago when you said like let's go, Bryce tensed when you said that. But after you say that, Bryce is just gonna kind of look up at you and just like nod. And actually like hold up a little hand really meekly, like I'd love to. If you could help me
Do you
out.
want me to,
He's imprinted.
you want you want me to carry you?
I mean, I was just asking for your help up, but if
Oh,
you wanted
wait,
to,
because you
Miss
collapsed
Rhea,
on the ground.
Miss
Yeah,
Rhea used
yeah,
to
yeah,
carry
no,
me
no,
all the
here,
time, and
Here, and oh no, and I'll just like pat you on the head, and then I'll be like,
open whale crying now from Bryce, but like in that good open way that like
oh no,
and Bryce goes for a
oh,
hug.
and I'll just like I'm patting you on the head. Oh, this is more touch than I've
Why are
ever.
your pockets
gotten in
so
the last
hard
couple
and sharp? Pockets shouldn't be sharp.
I have a knife in every pocket.
It's
okay.
That's kind of cool.
It is. I know.
Bryce, you take 1 point of piercing.
Bryce is dead.
Actually,
it?
you're probably pretty close, right?
Actually, let's see. Bryce did handled pretty well in that fight.
Actually, I think Rand.
Because Bryce was
you're,
invisible
like,
for most of it, and then
Yeah.
also
Almost
had
there.
reactions that
Yeah.
could
And some like crazy
temp HP.
temp HP,
Yeah,
which
the whole
yeah.
I
time.
will not have
And that
anymore.
sucks. That was really useful.
Daniel will kind of just be like, "Look, I'm sorry, I couldn't help but overhear in a little bit." And she's still just patting your head.
I'm an open whale, like, but like against, like, so it's like smothered whale.
Yeah. I don't know much about y'all or your friend, but I would like to say I heard an awful lot of blame being put on each other, and like, is that something that this Aria person, was that her name?
They were close. It was Miss Rhea.
Is that what Miss Rio would want?
No.
Okay.
Miss Rhea was the kindest person I'd ever met, and only said nice things about other people.
And so should you respect her memory by doing what you think she would think about doing what about you?
She's not.
Did you ever have a dream that did you do what to
Yeah. Yes. Would she want you to think that?
She's not gone yet. And I just walk off to the 3 sheets.
Oh,
I'm gonna though take a little back, and I'm gonna see you walking off, and just turn back around though to you and say, "No, she wouldn't. I think Rand just needs a little time though.
I get that.
I think I know where they're going though." And I'm gonna hold out my hand.
Oh, okay. And I'll kind of like lend you my arm, and so you can like kind of
I
like
actually
grab
was
onto
just
me.
wanting to hold you. Oh, as in like
to
not
lift
hold
you up.
Oh.
You want to hold
I was just trying to hold your hand again, but okay.
Okay. And you hold my hand, and they're just real clammy.
I was about to say, do you even like really hold, or are you like a?
I'm just cold.
Bryce just gonna like squeeze the fingers like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you said your name. All right, ready to go. I'm sorry, I was
Yeah.
mean to you earlier.
We all strike out at times when we're hurt, and it's okay.
My mom
When
used
I-
to say that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many moms.
It's funny because like your motivation is to find your dad, but you are like
Clinging
My
to
only
every
reference.
maternal
Yeah.
you're fine.
I'm
Because I aspired to be my dad, but he's always gone for work, Judy's the one holding down the fort and actually raising
Judy.
Bryce.
yeah, I get that. When I was hurting, when I was hurting real bad, I think I went out and started a cult and did some stuff and, lashed out a bit, and it ended up being okay in the end because,
Did
Yeah.
you start the dragon cult?
what? No, it wasn't about dragons, it was about me.
Oh, you can do that?
That's most cults,
Sure.
my guy. This dragon thing is like extra. That's not usually
I mean,
it.
there's no need to get into specifics because, quite honestly, I don't remember most of it. But let's go. Let's just get to Where are we going?
We're going to the 3 sheets.
3 sheets. Where is it?
Oh,
Where is that?
I'll just follow me. I'll
Okay.
tell you about the first time I met Miss Rhea.
Oh, tell me. I want to know from day number 1,
And Bryce
and then
gonna
minute
start.
number 2,
And
minute
Bryce
number
is
3.
gonna give every detail as this walk goes on.
Can I, as I walked off, I'm just gonna be muttering to Rory, who has just like been silently looming over his shoulder, and be like, okay, we've got 10 days. It's okay. Like we can gather information. We can figure this out. We can do this, Rory. We can get this done, and then it will all be. And Miss Rio will be back, and everything's fine. And
Hey Rand.
what, Rory?
You're scaring me.
Do you want to go back to your mirror? Or do you want to stay out here with me?
I'll stay out here with you.
She can't be gone, Rory.
Okay. I believe you. But what if she is?
I ruined everything.
You haven't ruined anything. I wouldn't be here without you. I wouldn't be here without Rhea. Neither of you. It's not your fault. I could have burned brighter. I could have been hotter. I could have burned hotter. I could have burned brighter. I could have done something, right? I could have teleported her. Why didn't I? I could have teleported her. Why didn't I?
This isn't your fault. But, wait. You wouldn't be here without Rhea. No, there's no way. There's no way that you would know anything about Rhea.
I don't know. I just heard some words from her, and then I kind of
Wait.
sprang into being.
What did she say?
Let's re-listen to the episode
What did she say?
when that happens.
She would have said, in the spell, it would have been like, even in the blackest of nights, there will always be light. But in Elvish.
Yeah. Rory translates.
But the last couple syllables are in Infernal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Canonically, can I hear that through Rhea's voice?
Yeah, of course.
I just want to give Rory a hug.
Rory gets all big and kind of
Marshmallow.
grows a couple. Yeah, I'm little
fire noodles.
Yeah, little fire noodles, just like.
Is that fire hugging?
It also farts sometimes.
It also farts? I knew. I just knew y'all were gonna be fun.
Magic's really weird.
Rand, you hear
It
just a
is.
Tell
gentle
me about
like
it.
crackle of flame in your ears, and though Rory doesn't give off any warmth, you do feel warmer. And you also hear just a little as a little puff comes out from
40 points damage.
I'm sorry for scaring you.
It's okay. I'm scared too. It's not you that scared me.
It's not me.
It's the situation.
Oh.
I don't know.
All right. Does do my eyes seem concerning?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You and Rory exchange some more conversation, and you relay your to the second you're meeting with Rhea for the first time, and as you're doing so, you arrive at the Three Sheets. You walk in the door, and
Just one finger at this point.
I'm like clutching.
What are you doing at this point? It's the sun has started to kind of grow a little bit lower in the sky. You spend a decent amount of time underneath the cathedral, exploring, fighting, escaping, and going around trying to find healers. Most of the day has kind of elapsed at this point.
Is Saoirse in there?
Saoirse is there. You see Saoirse. Saoirse, what are you up to?
Let's see. I mean, she's at 5 hit points and dead tired. So, I think she's sitting down having a meal.
I didn't realize Saoirse had taken such a beating.
Yeah.
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 You see just some cuts, just like some dried blood still on Saoirse's forehead. Like
Oh, she's prestidigitation
okay,
that away.
immaculate. Never
Absolutely
mind.
not. No, she's clean, but just like bone tired.
Yeah.
And just like shoveling food in her mouth and just trying to rehydrate and warm up by the fire and not really as lively, obviously. Usually in a inn she would try to, rile people up,
Yeah.
kind of get rowdy a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Play some pipes. She's not feeling it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
You see the rest of the party walk in as you're kind of starting to
Mhm.
eat your meal.
She looks up, but doesn't really wave him over or anything like that. It's just like, if you want to come sit with me, you can. But
Do you do so?
I think Bryce had almost momentarily forgotten the seriousness of the situation since he kind of lost himself in talking about Rhea and how wonderful she was and his feelings about her. And then seeing, though, Saoirse, like, brings him back, he kind of hits us out and pulls the hood back over a bit.
I'm going to walk up to the bar, sit down,
Clutch his finger tighter.
and I'm assuming, like, Mallory is probably around.
Yeah, Mallory's. It's weird. She always seems to be tending bar. You're like, dang.
Very
when does she
convenient.
sleep?
So, I'm going to wave Mallory over.
Uh-huh. What you need?
Ria's dead. So, have you ever heard the name Emrys?
Hold on. What?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to the parade. What? Emrys.
Emrys.
Can't say I have.
Who has?
I thought that was... Who has? I don't know.
Nothing. I'm not gonna.
Okay. Are there other people here?
Yeah, there's tons of people. It is like busy. The parade just happened. Everybody who traveled to come see the Emperor is here. The festival is like about to kick off, and actually you hear not just from like inside but outside there is like cheerful music playing everywhere. There are people drinking happily, cheering, celebrating, and then there is one table kind of on the outskirts where your friends sit that is an island in the sea of happiness.
Okay. I am going to start asking every person if they know.
Very
Okay.
wise.
So
Good
you go
idea.
up to multiple people
I do.
and begin asking.
Yes.
And you strike out pretty much on every single person. Most people don't even give you the time of day because they're too busy, like either having fun or they're too drunk or they're just like,
Who are you?
don't know who this like this Emrys person is. They're like, Ria's dead. Oh, don't know her. Sorry.
I don't say that. I just ask if anyone knows
Yeah,
Emrys.
it doesn't seem like you're getting a lot of positive responses. And as you're kind of starting to go through all these, you hear the door open behind you, and two sets of heavy footfalls hit the floor.
The plot walks in.
And
Followed by a body.
you all turn and you see Hickory standing in the door. And Hickory sees you, sees everybody else at the table, and he kind of like walks up to you, says, "You got a minute?
Sure.
I'd like to talk to you and your friends."
I'd like to speak with you as well.
Oh, that was easy.
Saoirse just appeared.
I thought you'd all come to the table a little bit.
Yeah.
No,
I'll
okay.
walk him over. Yeah.
Yeah, so Hickory sits down, and you've seen Hickory from far away, and you've seen Hickory seated and standing briefly, but you now really realize how tall Hickory is. Like,
Tree height, maybe?
yeah, well over, yes, exactly. Well over like 6'6", nearing 7 feet tall.
Wow, almost acceptable for a Tinder profile.
That must mean he's like 5'9" in real life.
But when he sits down in one of the chairs at the table, it almost looks like he's still standing.
Cute.
You know, but he sits down with you, and he kind of starts shuffling. And as he's doing this, you also look up at the door because you hear it open again, and you just see the liaison
Yeah.
just standing right inside the door frame, just scanning the room
Bet.
silently.
Tuck my liaison. It's like further under my cloak.
Oh, I've never seen one of those. What is that?
It's liaison.
Bad news.
Whoa, that's a really kind of like a little spooky, but also really intriguing
They're,
name.
And I'm told they're harmless if you're not breaking the law.
That ups the intrigue.
All right, I won't ask too many questions. Who here? What's your passive investigation?
Passive investigation is 18.
Or actually, sorry, passive insight.
Insight's 13.
13. Does anybody here have a passive insight over 15?
Mine is
Allow
15.
me
15.
to-
Okay, that'll do it.
Rhea had an
How do
18.
you figure that out?
It'll be with your other passives.
It's on your first page of abilities and scrolls at the bottom. Passive. 15.
15.
15. So both of you see this. When he says there's no risk to anybody who isn't breaking the law, he just kind of instinctively touches a deep, like, scar on his cheek.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, nah, I couldn't hurt a fly. Anyway, that's not why I'm here. I saw you at the parade today. You were, I wasn't the only one. Word has gotten around of what you did. And I've got something for you. And also a request coming from the Emperor himself. He'd like to speak to you.
I have a condition.
We don't even know what this talk is about.
That is a power move, and I support it completely.
So anyway, and he finishes rustling through his pockets, and he pulls out 5 envelopes. And he sets them down in the center of the table, and he says, "Those are, I guess, something to wet your whistle. Those are invitations to the celebration at the apex of the Aurora, on the barge at the center of the Huon River. You are welcome. Transport will be provided. Drinks, libations, alcoholic and otherwise, food, entertainment. You are invited at the Emperor's behest. And you are invited to come see him tomorrow at the Eyrie. He'd like to thank you for what you did today."
Is that it?
I believe so. Is there something else you'd like?
Yeah. But I don't think he can give it to me.
Well, I'm sorry I can't. I hope you find someone who can. It was nice seeing you.
But we weren't the ones that killed the man.
No, but you helped. And that counts for something.
Can I roll an insight check on not like a specific statement, but just like
Vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Vibe
vibes.
check.
Yeah,
Mainly,
roll vibe
I
check.
would like to vibe check specifically for like, because
Did not pass the 5
you
check.
know, I'd like
From that
know
liaison
Hickory a
that cut
little
him on the
bit
cheek.
at this point. I know he's double agenting a bit, so I'm not like full. I'm not distrusting of him,
Uh-huh.
but do I sense that he holds any kind of fear in giving us this?
roll an insight check.
I want to ask Hickory. Have you ever heard of Emrys?
Gosh.
Sounds vaguely familiar. Why?
I need
5.
to find
It matters.
it,
It.
them, who. Where have you heard it?
I haven't heard it in the company of so many people around us. I haven't heard it in such a public space.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard it in mixed company like this. He looks around.
Can
I
you
may
hear
have
it?
heard it in other company.
Well,
Perhaps in a private room.
Anyway, I've got things to attend to. What'd you roll on your insight check?
Oh, an 8.
An 8. He seems,
Like Hickory.
yeah, seems like Hickory. Seems reliable. He doesn't seem like he has it in his wheelhouse to be deceptive.
Mm.
Yeah, that's about all you can get.
Have you heard of it outside?
Well, I'm sure you have. I'm sure I have. If you're wanting to talk about it, I'm sure there's a better time and place. Anyway, I hope you had a fun time at the parade. I hope you enjoyed your tour. And he winks at you. Bryce, like, I'll see you again sometime.
I don't
Are
exactly
you-
have the time to
He
wait.
tips his hat.
In a
stands
hurry
up,
to
and
leave.
Departs.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Can I follow him?
If you'd like.
I'd like to follow him.
Okay.
Maybe don't.
I have Rory fart myself in front of him.
Okay. So you fart in front.
Outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
So-
the damage
Do you
done
kill anybody?
optional?
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought.
Is there like a
damage.
woman with a small child walking by? That
Yeah,
Please
you
tell
will
me
do
it-
damage if you do that.
Can I follow until there's a deserted
Oh
and
my
then
God.
fart myself in front of him?
Roll a stealth check if you're going to be following like that.
Okay.
I have passive without trace.
I'd say, how long does pass without a
Yeah,
trace
that's an
last?
hour.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is it
Yeah, I think the
It's
hour
been
is
well
up
over an hour.
by
the
now.
hours up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, since
Well-
Saoirse didn't get to talk to Hickory, she's gonna go to bed.
Okay.
She's gonna listen, guys. She's been like reading over the grief pamphlet, and there's like, and it's like not making any sense to her. This is just weird, and it's like laced with like, I guess, religious language for a religion that she doesn't belong to and doesn't know anything about, because apparently it doesn't have any rules, but like also it's still kind of a religion, and so it's like, maybe this will help. It didn't really help me, but I'm just gonna, I need to sleep on this.
Okay.
Is there a way for me to notice Rand prep? Because I don't know what Rand's doing to prep for this following. What's his name? Hickory. Is there a way for me to notice that she's about to do this?
I mean, are you trying to hide it? That you're trying to, like, that you're about to, like, just...
I just followed him out. Like,
Yeah, I mean, so you see her
if
do that, for
so
sure.
if Rand just like stands and starts beelining towards Hickory, I want to grab Rand's wrist, full stopper, and look at her and say, I don't know what you're about to ask him, but I need you to let me follow him. In dead serious eyes.
do you mean you want to hear?
No, I want you to stay here. I need to be the one to follow him and ask him my questions tonight.
We don't have much time.
Then stay here and let me follow.
Okay.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
Okay. And I kind of want to say, I'm gonna roll stealth. I don't fully intend for Hickory to not notice me.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
Make sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, you follow him for a block. He walks down the main stretch of the broad road, Broad Street, I think, of the Broad Brink. I always forget when I name my streets.
And
And
Celia wasn't in the inn, by the way, right?
they had not made it back yet, no. But you follow him out into the streets. He seems like he's just kind of... He takes a turn, goes down a block, takes another turn.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like he's kind of wandering. Whether he's just out for a walk, a stroll, you're not sure. But eventually he kind of walks down a back alley, another back alley, another back alley. And then you turn blind corner and he's just standing there and just kind of like...
And I'm not surprised. I want to, like, as I round that corner, I want to be like one of those cool, he thinks he surprised me, but I, like, round the corner almost as, like, my own surprise. Like,
He's like, before you say anything, think.
I know about Baz. Do you know about Baz?
I've heard the name before.
What have you heard? Because I heard that Baz...
And you see eyes peering through the darkness behind him. The liaison is still behind. He says, I've heard the name before. It's been a few years. Couldn't tell you much more than that right now, I'm afraid. What I will say is, he was an old friend. You remind me a lot of him. And if you're going to find him, bring him back in one piece. Heard he likes fishing out in the swamps near Port Tishon. He always used to like to fly fish out there. Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to ask?
I'll like go to.
You hear on the wind.
Oh no, I don't hear that. Sorry, babe. That is not. I don't connect anything. Bryce does not connect anything with Hickory and Emrys. But as Bryce like goes to turn, he's gonna do like a cool call over the like shoulder moment, like not really look at Hickory, but just be like, "If you wanted to help, I've heard there's some loose leaves around that I may need to find. If you wanted to help me there."
Yeah. Tea's good for you. You know what? Keep your eyes peeled. And when you're out and about, if you make the right offering to the right river, maybe you'll see it.
I'll just nod and walk away.
Okay. Oh, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna need the right offering. And he flicks you a coin.
Is it a normal coin? Just wondering. Like, you're gonna bring it down.
It's a normal coin. A lot of the coins in the Empire have like the silhouette of the Emperor on them. Mm-hmm. No detail, but just like a silhouette. You look at this one, and it doesn't look like the other like silhouettes that you've seen. This one looks usually face obscured by the mask for the Emperor. This one has long hair. You can see like the silhouette has this like kind of like little smile cut out of it, and it just looks more lively and comical. And you see just little tea leaves decorating the exterior of the coin.
I'm just gonna like another silent nod after the coin toss and walk away.
Sure. Enjoy.
And I'll walk back to the 3 sheets.
Okay. All right. Celia still has not come back yet. What are you going to stay up for them to see if they come in? What's your plan?
I'll wait at the bar drinking some milk while I wait.
You're like, another.
It's been a day.
Okay. What about the two of you? You went up already, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, just kind of like wander up to the bar. Hey, I'm trying to figure out about a room.
Yeah,
you know what? I know one of them. I'm just gonna crash in one of their rooms.
Okay. Yeah.
I go right up to Saoirse's room. Just knock, 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 knock.
Hello.
Let me in. Actually, can I come back later and sleep, please? Is that okay?
Ask her what kick her out.
What?
Do you have an extra bed in here? I'm trying to find a place to sleep. I wanted to come up here before you fell too into sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just come in real quiet like and sleep. I just want to let you know that when I'm ready for bed, I'm going to tuck myself in.
Okay.
Sure.
Nighty-night. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
You feel an itch.
I know there might be werebugs around here.
Where?
Kafka-esque.
And then Dana's plan. Well, does Dana know if this is one of the places that might be
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
for that?
Yeah. Not here, but nearby. Yeah.
Oh, nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna wait until everyone kind of like heads off to bed and
Okay.
go see about her business.
Rand.
I'm going for a walk.
Okay. Where is Rand walking to?
Rand is walking and debating whether or not she's going to end up at Perennia's or Caladar's. Or just wander the rest of the night.
Okay. So you wander. Are you just kind of be walking around the University District? Just kind of. That's over on the other side of the.
Is that where they both live?
Yeah.
Yep. I will wander
Okay.
over yonder.
Okay. Where would you like to go? Do you want to go to Perennius?
Do I need to go somewhere?
No, nowhere in particular if you don't want to.
Random encounter.
Time to roll up the random encounter generator.
I think I might like go back and forth a couple times, but then I'm gonna end up at Caladar's and just teleport onto the roof.
Okay.
That's yeah.
Do you burn down the house?
No.
Torch the house.
You wake up.
Burst the door.
Where's the door?
Out on the roof. No, I think I'm just gonna like hold Rory like this and just look at the sky and just stare off.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to what you're doing next episode. I think that's a good place to put a pin in it for this week.
Rand goes to sleep, by the way.
Not mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall asleep like this.
Okay. So
Please.
you fall asleep.
And die of
Goodness.
exposure.
First time you've fallen asleep in this campaign.
I know. Oh god.
You all fall asleep. Well, Bryce, you're staying up,
Yeah.
but we'll get to it.
Depends on
You fall
pick up
asleep.
the-
You fall asleep. You too. We're gonna get to it next week. But first, you all now are level 7.
Let's
Oh, I don't like it.
Dana was already level
Yeah,
7.
Ooh, okay. And long rested.
You are the longest of rests.
You pulled Bryce so far off the path of the bad processing. Like, not to interrupt.
Dana?
though, the end
Oh
of the
yeah, yeah. I
episode.
was just gonna say some people are having longer rest than others, but
Dana's gonna sleep good tonight.
What?
but that is all for this week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you to
That was a
Will, our
lot.
producer.
Yes.
To Jess and Sarah for helping out with art and the website.
Bet.
Platty.
For Platty for our intro music, and all of you for watching. We appreciate it so
Thank
much. And
you.
thank you so much for everybody who
Thanks.
donated bits today.
Yeah.
That was so amazing.
You're the best.
You're all incredible.
You're amazing.
Thebomb.com.
Many love.
.net.
Many love. We'll
Dot
see you
net.
next
Dot
week.
net.
Thank you.
.org. Dot.
Bye.
Bye.